2, 1. Lauren,
Hi.
we have you on.
Awesome.
How are you?
Good, and yourself?
I'm fantastic. Well, first off, thank you for being here. I really, really appreciate it. You look lovely, by the way.
Thank you.
Everyone will see in the thumbnail. Unfortunately, this is going to be an audio only. I do not have a camera, low budget, but hey, maybe one day we'll get there and we'll be able to film everything. But first off, great to have you here. And
Thank you.
the way we always start this is to try to find somebody's celebrity twin.
Okay.
Yeah. And I can't find one for you. I cannot find one for you.
That would be hard, yeah.
Actually, now that I think about it, now that I look at you, there is one that does come to mind. You remind me and have the little bit of look and the smile of Elizabeth Olsen.
No kidding.
Yeah,
That's
like
the girl
honestly,
from,
yeah,
WandaVision.
WandaVision, yeah.
Okay.
Like the way she smiles, it's like, that's kind of like your smile. And let me find another one of her smiling. Let's see. Yeah, like that's
Okay,
you.
I can see one.
Yeah. The smile is kind of you. Yeah. So your celebrity twin is Elizabeth Olsen.
Okay.
I had a few people where the first girl I did it with, her name's Cecilia.
Mm-hmm.
She has two. She's Alexis Beadle from Gilmore Girls. Rory from Gilmore Girls.
I don't think
You've never seen Gilmore Girls?
Gilmore Girls is the four ladies, right? No.
No, that's Golden Girls.
Golden Girls.
That's Golden.
Wait, Gilmore Girls is on ABC, right?
I think
Was
so.
It was the mother and daughter.
Yeah.
Am I thinking of the right one?
You
Okay.
are correct. Like what? Gilmore Girls.
Golden Girls.
Yeah. No, you're good. So
Okay, yes, I
this
remember
is
that.
Gilmore
Okay,
Girls.
yeah.
The girl that I did, she looks like that, but she refuses to
Okay.
say that that's her.
Why?
I don't know what it is, but she's like, no, that's not me. And then,
pretty.
yeah, she is really pretty. I think she is. But then she told me about young Courtney Cox. And basically, this is like kind of an accurate representation because one, that's how actually Cecilia dresses.
That's awesome.
And that's actually how she really looks. So it's freaky when someone has a celebrity twin. I have yet to find a celebrity twin yet. So if anyone can discover mine, please go for it. But I don't think I look like literally anybody in Hollywood.
I've never heard anyone. I don't think anyone's ever compared me to a celebrity, so I wouldn't be able to like compare myself to anyone.
Well, some of them are good to compare, and some of them are unfortunately not. We don't need to be compared to all
But Elizabeth
celebrities.
Olsen, that's her name, right?
Yeah, Elizabeth
She's
Olsen.
super pretty.
She's very pretty. Well, the reason why I knew about her was because of obviously you know about Mary-Kate and Ashley, right? The
Right.
Olsen twins.
Right.
Well, I knew them because obviously they're not so
Iconic.
good movies.
Oh yeah, they're
Yeah.
cheesy, but
They're
for
cheesy
kids.
movies, yeah, exactly. But also about their fashion line,
Right.
which actually was really interesting. They started in Walmarts, like in Walmarts and
remember that.
Targets, and I didn't know that, but that's how they started. Now they have like a fashionista like empire.
Yeah,
It's so crazy because they're basically almost like I think they're almost billionaires, the Olsen twins,
that's insane.
because of how like up there they are.
She's the oldest, correct?
Elizabeth Olsen, I don't know. I think she might be. Let's actually look this up. Now we're in this whirlwind of
We're invested.
we're invested in who's the oldest Olsen twin. Oldest. Who's not the oldest person alive? Olsen. Who's the oldest Olsen sibling? Man, imagine
Okay.
saying that really fast. Who's the oldest Olsen twin? Okay, James Trent Olsen. Who?
Okay, there's a brother.
There's
I
a
didn't even know
brother,
about that.
like his famous sisters. No, I want sisters. Okay, the Olsen siblings. James Trent Olsen.
I didn't know there was so many of Olsen.
Yeah, I guess there are so many Olsens. Okay, Mary-Kate and Ashley. Oh, there's more.
Courtney, Taylor
After
Olsen.
making their acting debuts on Full House, the fraternal twins.
I
Okay,
remember
we're gonna
that.
have to do this the old-fashioned way.
Olsen
Let's see.
sisters.
Yeah, let's see. Well, the Olsen sisters are twins. So let's look up Elizabeth Olsen's birth date. She was born.
Oh, right there. February 16th.
February 16, 1989. And then And then
I
Olsen.
think she might be.
Possibly. Okay, 1989. Let's see. And then Mary Kate was born. No, the Olsen twins are.
No way.
They're older. Yeah, they were born in 86. Yep.
She didn't do as many things as them, did she? Not until like she was older.
Yeah, well, now she's done in more films because they don't act anymore. The twins.
Right.
No, the Olsen twins don't do much anymore, which is kind of unfortunate because they've been in like a couple movies where like very independent and they're actually not bad.
Right.
They still got it. Like it's acting for them is natural, but it's a shame because they're actually really good and still very talented. But
Talented in other ways.
yeah, very talented in other ways. But I mean, hey. Yeah, they want to be private and not really be in the spotlight. I mean, good for them.
Yeah.
Have that private celebrity life. They've earned it.
Are you into? Sorry for interrupting.
No, you're good. No, you're good.
Are you into WandaVision?
I haven't watched WandaVision.
Okay.
Why? This is the reason why. It's not It's just the WandaVision in these Marvel movies is not the WandaVision from the comics, which I loved. Like basically, Wanda is not a superhero, superpowered, like, she's not just some random person in the Marvel movies. She's actually a mutant in the X-Men universe.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
and unfortunately, because Disney didn't buy the rights to the X-Men, they can't technically say she's a mutant because they don't have the rights to the X-Men or anything like that.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's I don't know if you know much about Marvel characters.
I know a bit, but
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about
Yeah,
it.
well, the X-Men, their main antagonist or the main villain for the X-Men, the guy that's always a thorn in their side is a guy named Magneto. He has the power to control metal.
Okay.
And his children are Quicksilver and Wanda.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
or Scarlet Witch. Yep, those are his children.
So who has the rights to?
Well, now Disney has the rights to the X-Men, but they haven't put anything out yet.
Okay.
So basically, before Disney acquired Fox, Fox had the X-Men and they had the horrible Fantastic Four movies. Don't watch them. They're a headache.
I've seen them. The one with Jessica Alba. And
Oh Lord, yeah. Ugh, those gave me a headache when I was a kid. It ruined perfectly for good superheroes. But yeah, Fox owned the X-Men and Fantastic Four. But when Disney started the Avengers movies, they didn't have those rights yet because they didn't buy them out.
Right.
So in order to bring the character, they have to be like, okay, we can't call her mutant because we don't own the rights to the mutants. So we'll just say she's a superhero chick thingy, I guess. So that's basically how they portrayed her. But other than that, I don't
She's
know.
not an Avenger either, right?
I think, well, in the movies, yeah, but I don't think in the actual Marvel comics she is an Avenger. Don't hate me if I get this wrong, but technically I don't think so. But I probably am wrong. There are more people more qualified than I am.
I don't know anything about it, so I wouldn't be able to tell you either.
Yeah.
But I was curious.
Yeah. Well, have you watched WandaVision?
I've seen a couple episodes because my little brother watches it. But I'm not really into it. Like the switching back and forth.
Yeah.
How it goes.
Well, from what people told me, the first episode is extremely weird.
Really?
Like it's
Okay,
just, yeah, like the first episode is weird. Like that's what everyone told me. Like it's just one of those where it's like, oh, what's happening? What's going on?
It's a lot.
Exactly, and it's a lot. And I mean, I get sometimes some shows start off real slow, or they start off like, oh, I don't know, and you got to give them a couple episodes. I get that, but honestly, I'm just not that invested into these two characters to make me like, oh, I want to watch an 8-episode or a 9-episode show about them. So it's like,
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, overall, from what people have told me, it's good, which means to me it's fine.
Yeah. I'm probably not gonna watch it still.
Yeah, exactly. I'm probably not gonna watch it, but well, the good things I hear is that Elizabeth Olsen, she's excellent in it. She does a fantastic job, flawless as always. And the guy that plays Vision, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, maybe I might watch it, but I don't know, probably not.
I still haven't watched The Mandalorian or anything like that either.
Mandalorian is actually, well, if you're really into Star Wars, like, it's a very good show. Just something different from the movies and from what you've known about Star Wars. It's basically just it's like a Western type Star Wars movie. That's basically the way I see it. Like a Clint Eastern Western or a spaghetti Western of this bounty hunter outlaw basically rescuing a little green baby and just going out the galaxy, shooting shit, and making new friends.
Is it just me or Star Wars has so many spin-offs?
Well, now there are. Well, because originally Star Wars was 6 films.
Right, I remember those original.
Yeah, the original Star Wars. Yeah, from the 70s and the 80s. Yeah, you had, obviously, the original Star Wars. Then you had The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. And then the 90s and early 2000s came the quote-unquote prequels, which were episodes 1, 2, and 3, which is Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith, which basically the 2 stories of the trilogy were the Skywalker trilogy. The story of the originals were the story of Luke Skywalker, and the prequels were the story of Anakin Skywalker, a.k.a. Darth Vader.
Right.
So that's where the original Star Wars, and then of course when Disney bought Lucasfilm and Star Wars, that's when they're like, hey, let's come up with 3 more movies. And look, if you hate the new Star Wars movies, I understand why. If you like them, you like them. I mean, I really am not in a fuss over it.
I can't really, again, like, that's just something I was curious about. I don't really know much about the Star Wars trilogy at all. It's interesting to watch when other people are watching it. They get really into it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I love Star Wars, but man, there are people that love Star Wars. Like, they have the books, the comic books, friggin' action figures, video games, and post, like, everything Star Wars. And they know stuff that's like, how do you know that?
Yeah,
like,
unless you live that life.
Exactly. Like, they go to Comic-Con, every Comic-Con about Star Wars ever, like... And honestly, if you do that, man, where do you have the time to do that? And then where do you have the money to do that? Because Comic-Cons are expensive.
They are, but honestly, okay, like, I wouldn't mind going to one. Mm-hmm. Like, I would definitely want to experience one before I die.
I would want to do that also. And especially, would you dress up
to a Comic-Con? Honestly, why not?
Who would you dress up as?
That's a good question. I would have to sit and think about it. That's something that you plan for months.
That's true.
I don't know, but that's a good. I should start thinking.
Yeah,
that's. You can literally go as anything.
You could go as anything. You can go as the craziest one I've seen is when someone made like an actual like Transformer. Like, here, we'll watch it. Like there's been some ones where it's like some crazy Comic-Con costumes, which you're like, how?
I've never been, but like I'm always in San Diego around that time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's super interesting because my boyfriend and I will go on, like, drive, like, during the day to see, like, all the people walking to the convention center, you know?
Really?
Yeah, and it's super funny because, like, it's just a bunch of people, like, in costumes, you know?
That's crazy.
But I like to go and just look at all the, cosplay people do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Well, man, there are some where, I swear to you, it's just, like... It's insane how much time and effort people put into these costumes. Yeah. And we're watching this stupid Uber Eats commercial. All right, like that. That's what I'm talking about.
That's pretty cool.
Like, look at that. Move the beer out of the way. Like, 19 costumes that take cosplay to the next level. Like, obviously, there's this one. Nintendo pixelated characters.
That's insane.
Yeah, and then here's another one. See, like, what is that?
Is that Aladdin? It is.
Yeah, it is Aladdin. Oh! See, what?
See, that's the guy from the Lion King.
Yeah,
right?
Pride Rock, yeah, and Simba, Lion King. Let's see, that's the big old Iron Man suit. Like, that's insane.
That's pretty cool.
That's ridiculous. And then, oh yeah, there's Bumblebee.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's that takes probably years.
Yeah, that's literally someone who spent their whole life, like, getting ready, geared up for that moment.
I mean, it wouldn't, yeah, my costume wouldn't take that long. It'd probably take, like, a couple months to get all the stuff from Amazon and stuff, but that's, like, it.
What's this? Okay, what is that? Oh, here's someone's Iron Man suit. What? So oh! Cool. There's someone literally made an Iron Man suit. Like, flames are coming out of his hands. Like, flames coming out of his back like a jetpack. It can't fly, but the blasters look real.
That's insane.
That is nuts. Jesus Christ. Yeah, definitely. Think really hard about what you want to dress up as the Comic-Con.
Seriously, you know the YouTuber David Dobrik?
I've heard of him, yeah.
Okay, he has like a model of the suit like in his living room, and it's crazy because he's super into Iron Man.
Damn.
And they sent him one. I don't know who's they, but like when he got it, he filmed a video of it, and he's like, he sent me like a huge like life-size Iron Man. It's insane.
How much you want to bet it was actually Robert Downey Jr. that sent him that?
I wouldn't doubt it.
I wouldn't doubt it either.
He's insane. Insanely popular right now. Like crazy.
Yeah, no, I haven't looked at David Dover in a while, but I've heard of him. I probably have to look that up to see it, the life-size Iron Man suit.
Yeah, it's super cool.
But, goddamn. So, basically, something I really want to know is, like, tell me about yourself, because obviously people who are listening probably have no idea who you are, what you're about. So I guess kind of explain who you are, where you come from, and stuff about you, because this is about you.
Okay, I guess I'm from here, El Paso. I was born and raised here. I'm currently going to school at UTEP, so I'm studying for my bachelor's in business, and I'm not working right now. I'm just taking a break. Just chilling.
Nice. Well, with quarantine going on, I mean, it gives. I think it's. Well, I don't know how it was for you, but obviously when I got laid off, I obviously wasn't going to school, but I was working, and it was basically the job I worked at. It was 6 days a week, and when I got that laid off, it was kind of nice to take a break, but then of course your brain kind of wants to go back to work.
No,
but I mean,
yeah.
how was it for you not knowing that like you were out of a job and then you could only focus on school? I mean,
Honestly, okay, so when I first got laid off, I guess you could say, because
Yeah.
they had originally told me I was supposed to come back. I worked at Dillard's, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm just like going into conversation because you know me.
yeah.
But I worked there for a couple months, and I really liked it. I liked the pay, obviously.
Yeah.
It was really good, and the benefits were really nice, and I liked it, and the people were really nice. But they were like, we don't really know what we're gonna do. Also, they were really late, like, putting protocols up for their employees. Like,
Like, what do you
safety.
mean? Like what? Like when everyone was wearing masks, like 3 weeks later, they're like, okay, everyone, you have to wear a mask, or...
It was like before masks. Like, it was way before.
Okay.
Like, this was like last March. Like, it just took forever
Okay.
to like put protocols in after the city had already come out and like
Wow.
said this. Yeah, and it was just it wasn't them. It was the company as a whole.
The company
like,
as a whole.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was really bad. They were like really late to it. They didn't want to stop production, and they didn't want to stop like closing. They didn't want.
Yeah, they didn't want to close
their own stores. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Well, I mean, no business honestly
Right,
does,
right.
because it's obviously it's bad for business. No one's making money. No one's working. But at the same time, I mean, when this virus struck, and I know we're talking about the virus, but I don't give a fuck. It's my show. But just nobody knew what the hell this virus
No,
was.
yeah, I agree, yeah.
No one knew like what it could do, who it really affects, or honestly what the symptoms were. And I mean, not to judge anybody, but that just sounds very, I guess in a sense, irresponsible. I mean, I understand their motives, but I mean, you're putting also your employees at risk.
Right.
Because you could have someone who possibly has, respiratory problems, have severe asthma, diabetes,
Right.
All the people that are at risk, they could have a customer that walks in that probably has it and doesn't know they have it without wearing a mask or whatever, and then they can give it to someone by just selling them jewelry or a t-shirt.
Right.
And you never know it until, like, literally you're like, oh, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
Help.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, no, like I would have even been like happy with just a statement from them, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But they didn't. But I mean, it's whatever. Like, but they were like, "We'll probably bring you back," and that never happened because they kept like the full timers on, and I was only.
Oh, you were only part-time.
And not only that, the full timers had been there for like 10
plus years.
because they're from Dillard's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like, "There's not a chance," you know what I mean? But I didn't mind, and I was like, you know what? It gives me the chance to like. It was summertime or this time, and I was like, gives me the chance to kick back, and I was like, we're probably not gonna be able to do anything this summer anyway.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just hang out at home, you know?
Yeah.
And then school came around, and then, yeah, I was like, okay, I'll just focus on school right now.
Yeah. So, like, the summer pretty much gave you, like, a chance to just, like, I guess let your brain and your body just take a rest and, like, I guess, in a sense, like, allow yourself to just, I guess what I call it is, like, being, like, letting be.
Yeah.
Like, not having to have worries, not, just basically, like, to breathe, take a breath, like, exactly to finally come from above water and just to finally be like, and, like, put everything else on hold and
I
just
agree.
Have time to yourself. Because
Yeah.
I feel like people don't get a lot of that nowadays because people are just go, go, go.
And I really did feel like that because, you know, this is the first time since I was 17 I didn't have a job. So
Damn.
This is the first time I haven't worked, and I'm really taking advantage of, like, the not working.
Yeah.
I mean, like...
And how old are you now?
I'm 25.
25. Yeah, so 8 years nonstop without taking time to yourself.
I turned 25 in November, so I was just like, I need to, like, chill.
No, yeah, no, definitely. No, honestly, taking rests and taking breaks and taking little increment moments of just having time to yourself, I think is very healthy. Not just mentally, but I think physically and emotionally. Because I think nowadays, especially young people, it's just about go, to where you burn yourself out too easily. But of course, your mindset is so focused on what you have to do instead of what you actually need to do. To the point of, I think honestly that's one of the reasons why depression is in young adults nowadays, because one, a lot of them attain that unattainable goal. And when you don't have time to think about, what happens next, you fall into a slump. And two, you're go constantly. Then when you neglect yourself, you know, and your brain's trying to tell you to stop, and you're telling it, no, we need to go more, you're denying your brain and your body rest, thus you fall into a slump. And three, honestly, if you don't have time for yourself, man, and you're denying what is human, which is rest, which is your needs, and also what makes you happy and what you want to actually do. Like, if you want to go out and maybe party for like a night, then go out and party. If you need to have a cigar, go have a cigar, have a beer, or you know what? Just sit out in the sun and think about absolutely nothing. Right. Like that's some people's medicine. Yeah. And I think that's the most healthiest thing you can do. So I'm glad you were able to have that.
Thank you. Honestly, I'm super grateful because, like, again, like, not everyone else is able to do that. Not everyone is able to do that, to take a break, and you know what I mean? Because that is someone's time, money, you know what I mean? So I'm appreciative, and that my school's taken care of, you know, like, I have somewhere to live. But no, I'm happy to take a break.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So you say you're studying business right now.
Yeah.
So what do you want to like achieve in business, or what do you want to do? Do you want to open your own business? Do you want to?
It's a lot. Yeah, I want to open my own business. So those 8 years we were talking about earlier, I worked at mostly restaurants, and up until then I had recently worked at Dillard's. Yeah. But bars, restaurants, like everything. So I want to open a business along that line. Okay. But I'm not completely sure yet. I haven't wrapped my mind about like where. Well, I definitely do want to make it here because El Paso is up and coming. You know. And I feel like that's even more of a reason to grow. So, and it's super cheap here. Everything's super cheap. Oh yeah, everything's extremely cheap. So I think this would be the perfect city to start a business and then expand later. You know what I mean? Of course. I mean, once you expand, that's when you know you've kind of made it. Yeah, exactly. But to take it slow, I think here, and then not only that, but like I have friends that like have similar interests. So maybe like later on the line we figure something out. Business partners and joint ventures. Yeah. No, the restaurant industry is honestly. People think like obviously because of us millennials and younger generations that the restaurant industry will die, but here's one thing that people forget about restaurants, the restaurant scene. It's a social scene. Yeah. People want to be seen there. Yeah. People need to be seen there because as human beings, we want attention. We want to be seen. We want to be seen drinking the latest beer or the margarita. We want to be we want to be seen. Yeah. It's like, oh wow, look who just walked in. You know, we want to be seen, or dang, he looks good or she looks good. You know, we want to be seen. Really? So it'll never die. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm so sorry. No, you're good. You're good. Not only that, but like people like want to experience something. Like,
exactly.
Restaurants are more about the experience now, and I think like that's what the older generation doesn't kind of understand, because it's not just about going, sitting down, and eating. And
Yeah.
and so you like enjoy the atmosphere, the person who created the building, like in, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's like now what the scene is about. You know what I mean?
Definitely. I mean, that's what it is about. I mean, it wasn't like that like 10, 20 years ago.
Definitely.
Like, I remember, like, to me, like, yeah, like you were saying, it's just about get in, get your food, and get out.
Right.
I mean, obviously, in higher end restaurants, it probably was that way.
Yeah.
But nowadays, it's got to be everywhere now. Like, I remember me and my girlfriend went to Scottsdale, Arizona.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Like, first off, that's a great vacation spot.
Yeah.
And we went to 2 restaurants. One of the restaurants we went to was like a hole-in-the-wall type of place. I forget what the place is called, but it was just like in a small little building. It was like a maybe 15, maybe 20 table restaurant. It was just one of the most hip and, like, honestly, you go there at 7 o'clock at night with your date, you're going to have a great time. Great service. And the vibe of it was like, it was nothing like flashy in your face, but it was just like the mood was set. The way the restaurant was set, the small restaurant was set, it's like, this is a place to be on a nice, like, Friday night with your date, enjoying, having a glass of wine and enjoying your meal.
Right.
And then the next place we went to was obviously one of those high-end, like, restaurants, like guys wearing bow ties, women wearing, like, slacks and long sleeves. Date night.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, the second restaurant we went to, I shit you not, they had, like, a whole, like, an archway, glass full of thousands of bottles of wine.
That's
Like
so
a
cool.
case full of so much wine. Like, you walk through the archway and you look through the archway, it's like bottle beyond bottle beyond bottle of wine. There were so many wines there.
Oh my goodness.
I'd never seen that before.
Like, of course, empty, right?
No, they were full,
they were full like,
bottles of
so
wines.
To take off?
Like to take
my
out
God.
from there.
Okay.
Yeah, like,
because I was picturing like they. Okay.
No,
yeah,
like full bottles of wine.
So,
I'd never seen that before.
You know, Stone Brewing.
No.
Stone IPA.
Oh yeah.
So they're located in San Diego.
Okay.
And I go there pretty often, and I've been to their brewery a couple times, and it's pretty cool. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's massive. They have like an outdoor seating area, and
really,
it's like a whole restaurant inside, and then there's like the brewery, and like inside when you walk into the restaurant, the walls are made out of glass. They're like just panes of glass, right?
Yeah.
And like in the middle are like empty beer bottles that are there. And it's so cool. It's the coolest thing ever. That brewery is so nice. If you go to San Diego and you have the option to go.
Oh, I love San Diego. That's another place I want to go, because I haven't been to San Diego in almost 10 years. Was the last time I went. Yeah, it's been a while.
You go to California pretty often.
I go to It's been obviously the last time I went to California was in September-ish was the last time I went. But I went to Northern California, and I've never been to Northern California. But mostly the times I have vacation, I've been to Southern California. Okay. And I love Southern California. I love LA. I'm a Dodger fan. They're my second favorite team. First team is the Red Sox. But I am a Dodger fan. I love San Diego. I love the San Diego Zoo. Oh, and just the San Diego vibe in general.
Yes.
It's
so different in that I think I'm so in love with that place. That's why I'm going off about it. I'm talking it up. Like, I would love to live there. And I love the Southern California lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's so laid back and so nice.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to get into that way of life.
Oh, yeah. I mean, honestly, first off, if I were to live there if I was a teenager, all I'd be doing is skating, being at the beach, riding my bike, and just
right?
honestly, probably even drinking a beer and smoking a joint.
Right? No, right?
Yeah. No, honestly, like, that's honestly how it is. And I kind of like the culture. Obviously, I don't like to smoke weed every day. I haven't smoked in like a few years, but I mean, that's just, I don't know. I love the lifestyle of being at the docks of San Diego, the San Diego Zoo, and plus, honestly, I love the environment there. And plus, it's one of the most healthiest cities in America.
I didn't
San
know
Diego.
that.
Yeah,
Kidding.
people are healthy there. Why? Because they're always outside. They're always at the beach. They're soaking in the sun. They're always doing something. There was apparently like some 80-year-old dude I saw on YouTube like surfing in San Diego.
I wouldn't doubt it, honestly.
Yeah.
the only reason why I started going there so much is because my boyfriend had his family over there, and he has a cousin that's like our age, and so we'll go up there and like we'll hang out and like do like the bar scene and you know.
That's cool.
And but of course when we were younger, because I've been dating my boyfriend for a while, and when we were younger, it was pretty cool because when we had first met, I was like 18 when we met.
So like a senior in high school.
Okay, maybe not 18 then. I was younger.
Okay.
Because I was like,
we'll say sophomore and junior-ish.
Yeah, sophomore, junior. I was like in between.
Yeah.
Okay, and then, but no, I went on my first trip with him, and yeah, that's when we started going. And then after that, we started going by ourselves, like flying out there, like getting Airbnbs. It's so cool exploring, having the time to explore a city, and it's really cool.
I've never been to an Airbnb. I hear they're really, well, they're a lot. Some of them are a lot more affordable than a hotel, but of course, I've never been to one, and two, I would expect in California they're still very expensive.
Honestly, so when I plan trips, I'm like super into it. I take hours and hours of research.
God damn, you sound like my girlfriend. That's how she is. That's literally how she is.
Sounds like we'd be best friends.
No, it sounds like it. No, next time she's in town, I'll try to set up something where you can meet her, because she's very, I have to have a list. Everything's got to go by the list, and I'm like,
straight up,
fuck me, because I'm anti-list. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Wherever we go, we go. And she's like, no, we must have a plan.
Yeah.
I'm not about plans.
Yeah, that's the same with my boyfriend. He's like, well, when we go on vacation, I'm like, wait, I want to do this. I want to do this. Like, let's go to the mall. Let's go to the beach. Let's go have a cup of coffee in the morning. Whatever. And he's like, I want to sleep in. We're on vacation. And I'm like, it's not about sleeping in, though. But yeah.
No, but about the sleeping in are on your days off.
Yeah.
Days off is when you sleep in.
Right. Not on vacation.
Yeah, but then again, if you are exhausted when you come off vacation and you did something wrong, I agree with that.
Okay, like, I get it, like, the first day, like, you get off the plane and you're like, oh, I'm exhausted.
You all fly to San Diego?
Yeah.
I drive there.
The first couple of years, we drove.
Yeah.
But my boyfriend's cars are only stick.
Oh, stick shift?
Yeah.
I love stick shift.
I don't drive stick, so he drove, like, the whole 12 hours there.
Damn.
And, like, after, like,
It took y'all 12 hours?
Yeah.
It only took me 10.
Yeah, 12 hours about. 12.
Damn.
The first time was the longest, and then it started getting shorter.
Yeah, okay. But I was about to say, like, how many times did you stop?
I think it was, like, we drove, like, the first 3 years.
Okay.
And, like, after that, he was, like, over it. Like,
oh, yeah. I mean, first off, if he's the only one driving. And plus, I love driving stick. I love it just because, one, I feel more comfortable, me in control of the car.
Yeah.
But driving stick shift on a road trip is just not convenient.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
It's really not. And plus, if you're with your significant other, you can't hold hands. You can't hold hands.
That's always a problem.
That is a problem because you're someone, they're trying to hold hands on you and like, stop. I gotta shift gears.
Yeah.
And you feel horrible because you neglect the holding of the hands, and then you end up looking like an asshole, and then you don't talk the rest of the car ride, which makes it horrible.
But no, it's fun traveling. I mean, but then we were like, no, let's find a way to get there faster and cheaper. So we started flying.
Faster and cheaper. Like, what's the only other way is flying?
Flying. What is that brand? Not Spirit. It's another.
Is it an airline?
It's another airline.
Okay,
like
there's United, there's Southwest, American, Spirit, Delta,
No,
Alaska.
No, I don't know what it is.
I can't think, but it's I think it's a super cheapy airline.
Yeah, you get the gist of it. It's like Spirit, and then but we usually fly in those, and they're like $100.
Yeah, they're cheap. Well, flights are cheap right now. I mean,
well, yeah, because no one's traveling.
Yeah, no one's traveling. Like obviously, y'all take advantage of it. But Southwest literally is offering a thing where some tickets are going for $29 to travel. $29. Imagine how much money they're losing. But then again, I don't feel bad about them because flying on an airplane is fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Because you have to pay some of them you have to pay for the seat and pay for the ticket. some of them even paid it for you to get a carry-on. That's ridiculous.
That's literally all the cheapy, like.
Exactly.
Southwest is alright. Like,
no, Southwest.
The bags are free, right? Yeah.
I think checking bags, some of them are, I think so. I might be wrong, but I think Southwest, honestly, is the best one. For the past few times I've traveled, I've used United, just because United, honestly, has been very good to me. You know, they've taken really good care of me, and I like flying with them. And plus, the cool thing about it, which I don't know how I feel about it, but when I had a bunch of weddings to go to last year in 2020, this is before the pandemic hit.
Okay.
And like I had like 3 weddings to go to, and I bought them all with my income tax money, because I had a friend of mine's wedding, then I had my uncle's wedding, then I had another friend, and then another friend getting married. So I was like,
wow.
Hell yeah, I have a loaded summer. And so I bought all my tickets with my income tax money.
Right.
But then, of course, the pandemic hit, and everyone was like canceling, so I'm like, shit. And then so I called the airline and I asked to get my money back. They weren't offering to get my money back because I didn't buy insurance. But I'm like, that makes no sense, because nobody expected this pandemic to hit. Like, you know, I'd like my money back. Well, we can't offer you money, but we can give you vouchers. I'm like, but if I can't travel, what? And the vouchers, the vouchers expire this month. So I'm like, if I can't travel, then what good are vouchers? That makes no sense to me. Yeah, so, but thankfully, you know, when I was able to travel to go see my girlfriend in California, so I was able to use the vouchers. Yeah, I was able to use them. And actually, I just used the last of them because me and my girlfriend are actually going to take a trip in May to San Antonio, Texas, because she's never been to San Antonio. So we'll get to do the river walk and see the Alamo.
That's nice.
Yeah, we'll get to do that. But
super fun trip.
But I was very disappointed that they couldn't get me my money back, which I understand, because they're like, we got to preserve what we got, because, you know, our business is going real down. But at the same time, it's like, look, I've been flying with you all. I've flown with them the past 5 years.
Yeah.
Past 5 years I've flown with them. And for them to be like, oh, we can't offer you money back. Well, we can offer you a voucher. That's only good for 1 year. So, geez, so much for fucking loyalty. I guess I'm just a number on your spreadsheet. But no, honestly, if I had to choose like another airline, I'd choose Southwest. Yeah. They're incredibly good. Especially now that they've now expanded throughout the whole U.S. Because before, it was just like the Southwest. Yeah. It was just the Southwest. You just can go from Texas, California, Nevada, Arizona, I think Utah, maybe Oregon. I think I might be in Washington. I might be wrong.
I didn't even know they went that far up. I thought it was just like.
Yeah, you might be right, but I think they just did mostly like the Southwest and maybe.
You may be right, though.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm just talking out of my ass. Who the fuck do I know? What the fuck do I know?
I just like traveling.
Yeah, I just like traveling. Traveling's fun. It's an excuse for vacation, and you get to see places you've never been.
My boyfriend was like trying to convince me he wants to go to Houston like at the end of the month.
Oh, Houston.
Yeah, his best friend lives up there and he wants to surprise his best friend, and I was like, I've never been. That's like the one part of Texas I've never been to, so I was like, I'm down to experience once. I'll give it a chance.
I mean, yeah, here's my thing with Houston. I mean, it's nothing against, I love the people there. Obviously, they're still Texans, but the weather is disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
The city, I think, is just weird, because the skyline just makes no sense. The way the city is all just, it's just gross. I just don't like Houston. Plus, the sports teams, too. I can't stand them. I hate the Texans. Fuck the Texans. And fuck the Astros. Gross. Everything Houston, gross. I can't stand it. Like, literally, me and a buddy of mine from Dallas, we would shit on Houston every second we could.
Of course, he's talking to Dallas.
Yeah, of course, because Dallas is the shit. Dallas is the shit. Dallas is the shit. But, Houston. Well, whenever you go, let me know how it is. Cause,
okay, yeah.
I don't like Houston.
I've never been. I'm gonna keep an open mind, but
yeah, keep an open mind. Don't let me poison your thoughts.
No, but like I've heard. I mean, okay, so my mother grew up there.
Oh, really?
Sort of. So she's just like, it's all right. I mean,
oh, by the way, I love your mom. She's a sweetheart. I miss her a lot.
Yes,
I miss serving her.
He's met my mom a couple of times.
Oh no, not just met. I've served her mom a couple times. She loves my margaritas. Or they both love my margaritas.
Yes, loves.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm professionally retired, but I can still make them. That will never leave my head. But But yeah, your mom grew up in Houston. I
Yeah,
didn't
she
know that.
lived there for a couple of years. Her dad went to school. My grandpa
Yeah.
went to school there. He went to, well, obviously, school there for is it pharmacology?
Pharmaceutical?
Pharmaceutical?
Okay.
Or not pharmacology. No.
Pharmaceutical school.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So he went to school up there, and so she's like, it's not the best, and some of the areas are pretty dangerous. She's like just be
the
safe.
south side
if
of
you ever
Houston.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was like, it's all right though. Like, and the beaches are not the best either. She's like, they're really rocky.
Well, it's the Gulf of Mexico,
Yeah.
so there's nothing good about that place.
Yeah.
And also, what is it with big cities in the south side? Why is the south side always the shittiest part of
Right?
town?
Like
Chicago south side. I actually stayed in the south side.
No way.
Yeah.
How was it?
Okay, people are badass and cool. They're really cool. I really do like it. But I understand why people say stay away from the south side.
How'd you end up staying there? Like,
Well, I was just traveling there, and I was with people, and just so happened I was just put there doing stuff, and
just the situation.
it was just a district. Yeah, well, I was also in Detroit too. Like, we stayed like a few miles away from 8 Mile, actually.
Okay, yeah.
When I was in
that's
Detroit.
crazy.
Detroit's pretty cool also. Like, honestly, I'm not terrified of the urban and street culture and the street life of it. You know, I'm not really scared of a lot of things, but I understand what
It's pretty sketchy.
a lot of these
right?
people. I mean,
Detroit.
Detroit.
I've heard
It's
worse
probably
things about Detroit than
yeah.
Chicago.
Well, here's the thing about Detroit. It's not really like scary. It's just you go there and you realize what Detroit was and what it is now, and you're just filled with like you're pissed at the United States of America.
Is it sad? Like, I can already feel your vibe. And
Yeah,
it's like,
well,
it's sad.
it is very sad because what is Detroit to you? It's the what? It's the Motor City, right?
Yeah.
Cars. Cars were manufactured and created, like American muscle and steel was made there. American cars, like Ford was made there. Like,
Right.
have you seen
Classics.
the movie Ford versus Ferrari?
No, I haven't.
Like that movie right there, honestly, is like one of those things. Like, see, that's how fucking Detroit can revive if they fucking bring the auto industry back over here. But you look at the city. Well, the downtown area is still really nice, but if you go to the outskirts where the auto factories used to be, where a lot of businesses were, they're just abandoned, and honestly, they're just used for, well, obviously, negative A, B, and C. They're just used for bad shit.
Yeah.
And you look like this could be a place where hundreds, if not thousands, of people can work,
Right.
can create American shit,
Right.
and produce. And it's not. And because of that, there's so much poverty. There's bad shit going on, and you're like, this is Motown. Like, it's Motown, Motor City, all that stuff. Like,
Okay, yeah.
it's honestly a really sad vibe. But one thing I will say, they are competitive about their basketball over there.
Oh yeah.
I felt so out of place because I stayed with a family where a neighbor of theirs, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he asked me to go play basketball. And no, quote unquote, I suck dick at basketball. I'm shitty at basketball. And I was playing with guys that play street ball, like legit street ball. So I'm like, fuck, now I'm really out of place. Like, literally, this is how I felt. I was too black for the white kids and too white for the blacks. Like, I was just like, fuck, I'm out of place here. And oh my goodness. And then, of course, someone taught me how to blood walk in Detroit.
Oh my god.
So yes, I know the blood walk thanks to some guys on the basketball court. But like I said, I love the people. I love all the guys there. I understand where they come from, but Detroit and the south side of Chicago, man, it's just one of those things. It's like there's so much stuff that could be here, but the way the circumstances are and what's going on,
Yeah.
you just feel sad about it.
Yeah.
You feel really sad about it.
I almost fell back.
Wow. Last thing we need is for you to fall back and hit your head on my grill.
Straight up.
And then my old man will come home and wonder why there's a big red splat on
my
his grill.
goodness.
And then I need to explain to him, well, it's because I had this girl on my podcast and she slipped.
But Chicago's, honestly, I had a really good time in Chicago.
I love Chicago too. I really do.
I went the summer, wait, not last summer, because that's when everything went down, right?
Yes. Yeah, so
the
2
summer
summers
before?
ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Lollapalooza.
Ooh.
So I went for a week. I was there for a weekend.
Well, how long is Lollapalooza?
It's 3 days, but
Okay.
we wanted to do like everything.
Okay.
We wanted to like explore, and honestly, I follow like a bunch of like traveling pages, and a lot of them focus on like the cities like I like to travel to frequently. Mm-hmm. And well, not that I travel to Chicago frequently, but yeah. I want to start. Yeah. There's like a lot of things that I feel like I missed, and I was like, oh, we could have done that, like, oh, like we could have done that or seen that or experienced that. Yeah. So I definitely want to go back and like redo the things like I didn't get to experience. So like the place that like the thing that you follow like shows you like, oh, these are hidden gems, or like things like most popular things in the city. Yeah, like that you museums, see. Like certain museums like this. I didn't get to do all the museums. I did the Metropolitan Art Museum. How was that? I don't know. I haven't been to that museum. That one was really nice, and the gift store was really cool. Like the gift shop is like 2 levels, and they sell like some sick art pieces. Like like they have like murals painted on skateboards. Like they had like no shit. Andy Warhol. Wow. Like the cans of soup on the skateboards, and there was like 3 of them. So it was like it came together, you know what I mean? That's insane. It was so cool. And my boyfriend was like, I really want to get one. Because there was like sets that came in 4, or like you can get 2, or you could get just like one single one, right? Yeah. And I was like, how are we going to get it back? And I was like, that's art. That's legit art. Like, it's not like you can't just like... Yeah, I was like, you're going to drop like 600 or 700 on it. And I was like, and how are we going to get it back safely? And I was like, that's what I'm worried about. Yeah. And I was like, not only that, that was our first date in Chicago. Like, we had just landed, got off the plane. We were like, let's go. Like, let's just fuck it. Let's go. And, and he was like, fine, let's come back and at the end of our trip, and we'll like get it and really think about it. And we never got it, and he super regrets it now. Damn, of course. Of course, who doesn't? You could have had a expensive ass piece of art hanging in your room, and now you don't got it. Yeah. Somebody else probably has it. Yeah, that place is super cool. Mm-hmm. Just the experience. We did the boardwalk there. That's so nice. The Grand Park. Is it Grand Park? Yeah. I think so. Yeah. That's super nice where the festival is. The festival is insane. Yeah. No, I've never. I don't know. I'm not a. I mean, I think it's a great thing about music festivals, but... You're not a music fest person? No, it's not that. It's just people. I don't like people touching me. Yeah, okay. Especially strangers. Like, when you're shoulder to shoulder with someone, they're dancing on you, and you're like, get the fuck away from me. Yeah, no, I get that, and that's why people drink. Yeah. No, yeah, but even worse, because I feel like someone could take advantage of me. Okay. Oh, okay, what? Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, that's just me, but I understand why people do like it. It's you get to hear cool ass music. You get to, also, I think it's a great place also to discover people that you've never heard before. Yeah, and it allows really cool. Young artists to like be out there and be like, damn, this is Lollapalooza. You know. Not only that, but like you get to like I've met some freaking awesome people, like incredible people, like I bet super interesting, like off the wall, like wow, that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like people in the crowd or actual like performers? Just like no, people in the crowd. Like because the people in the crowd are there like are just there for like a good time. Yeah. They're there to like enjoy the music. And also, I mean, they're from all walks of life too. Yeah, literally, and especially that music festival. Like I met like all kinds of people, and it's so fun like talking to them, like getting to know, like especially because these festivals have like attractions. Like, like photo booths and like all this kind of stuff. Like because I've never been to like obviously the 2 most popular ones I feel like are Coachella and Lollapalooza, and I've never been to both. And maybe I might go to one, but I have no idea like what they have, or obviously I know it's music, but I'm sure they have like so much shit there from like food to like activities to do there too. Yeah, no, the food is incredible. The drinks are incredible. They're so expensive. Probably to get a beer is probably like $13. Oh my God, yeah. And then, but not only that, there was like so many cool things to do. Like Ninja was there. That was so sick. Like all the gaming, no idea who the fuck that is. That was really cool. Yeah, there's just like a lot of art pieces, and I liked it honestly. Coachella I love it. I would love to go, and if I had the opportunity, I'd be like, let's go, let's do it. Mm-hmm. It's just like I feel like the time of year it is super inconvenient.
Well, when is Coachella actually?
Like Easter, around Easter time.
Really?
Like, I think it's like April. Like
what the hell?
But like, I'm usually like when I have a job, I'm like, dude, that's not the time I take vacation. Like I can't take a vacation now. If I want to take a vacation in the summer, usually I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. You know?
That's a weird time for a festival. Oh man. Yeah, well, when is Lollapalooza?
It's in August. So
yeah, that's the summer.
Summer, yeah.
That's like, almost the end of summer, but it's still summer. That makes more sense.
That's still like peak festival time.
Yeah, exactly. Because I feel like festivals are like May.
Like well after October.
Yeah, May, and then July, August, September, and then maybe one in October to cap it off because of Halloween and the beginning of fall.
There's a handful in October.
Yeah, but April?
No, not even. There's some in November too.
Fuck yeah! No, well, November birthdays. Where are they at? The fucking greatest.
What's it called? Camp Flognaw is usually in November.
Where's that at? Tyler the Creator's shit?
Yeah, that's Tyler the Creator's Festival. That's usually in LA somewhere.
That he's a fucking man. That dude, I would honestly like to talk to that dude.
Oh, okay. I was like, are you not into him?
No, I mean, some of his music I like, some of it, not really. It's
Some of it's cool though. And
some of it is cool.
And some of it's like, some of it.
Were you ever into Odd Future?
No, not like super. Just him.
Just him?
He's interesting.
I mean, there was a couple of them. I remember when it was Odd Future, Wolfgang versus fucking Wiz Khalifa's Taylor Gang.
Yeah.
That was the two things. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why can't we like both? Yeah. Like, why can't we like both, you know? But I remember, man, it was Tyler the Creator, fucking Haji Beats, Earl Sweatshirt.
Yeah, Earl Sweatshirt.
Yeah, Earl Sweatshirt.
He's so cool.
Yeah, that dude makes some good music too, but some of his shit is a trip also. But, yeah, I remember that. I'm pretty sure there's more. And then obviously Wiz Khalifa and Chevy Wood and all them, Taylor Gang. But I remember, like, in high school, those were the two biggest things. Was just, like, do you like Odd Future or do you like Wiz's Taylor Gang, like Wiz Khalifa?
Do you remember when people would wear, like, the socks with all the...
Oh, my God, the fucking cats and donuts. I remember that shit.
And
I'm
the
like...
backpacks with the donuts.
And the backpacks. That's... Yes, I'm like, what the fuck? That is the ugliest shit I've ever seen.
Like, all the kids, like, going hardcore, like, with the shorts.
Yeah.
And, like...
and I remember when Odd Future actually came to El Paso when Tricky Falls was still open.
Oh my God.
A bunch of people went to that. That was a million years ago. Yeah, it was like a million years ago.
So old.
Fucking, you're 25 and I'm fucking 23. Oh, I feel shit. But, yeah, no, that was the biggest fad ever. The fucking donuts and the upside down cross with Odd Future and the middle finger. Yeah.
Like the Goblin area.
The Goblin era. Yeah, exactly. But no, I like some of Tyler's stuff because I think he's an artist that just no one's ever like seen before. Because first off, the guy literally is like, oh you faggot.
Yeah.
Faggot, golf, yeah. And that's how he talks. Like, and plus when he does, also when I don't know if you saw their Adult Swim show.
Yes.
It's fucking funny.
What is it called?
I forget. Shit. I'm gonna look it up.
But yes. So you're just gonna bring like that little meme. What is it? You're just gonna bring a birthday to my birthday party.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Odd Future show Adult Swim. What's it called? Golf Wang or something like that? Maybe. Loiter Squad.
Yeah, that's right.
There was one where it was literally making fun of Beyonce Scared Straight where fucking Earl Sweatshirt. He's like one of the convicts. And he ends up being like the fucking janitor.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's like, what the fuck did you do? He's like, oh, I killed my daddy. I was killing my daddy when I was 5 years old or some shit.
He's so loud.
Yeah, like
he really is.
God, it's fucking hilarious. Like, I remember they were like the pinnacle of like, not just hip hop, but like comedy and culture. Yeah. Like they were everywhere.
Seriously.
And then all of a sudden they just fell off the map, which I'm like, damn, that kind of sucks.
Yeah,
but,
right?
But I mean, yeah, it's a generational thing. And plus, I think there was stuff going on with them too, where it was, because there was a lot of people in their group. It was obviously Tyler, Earl, Haji Beats, Fucking Frank Ocean was a part of them too.
Oh, yeah, I remember
Frank
that.
Ocean was a part of them too. Yeah.
That was forever.
Yeah, Frank Ocean was a part of them. Homogenesis, or I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name, but there was a lot of I think it was 20 plus members in their group. Mike G. There was so many of them in there, and I think honestly once the fade started going out, I guess they all went their separate ways. And the two most successful ones obviously are Tyler #1 and then of course Earl Sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Are the most popular. Ended up.
And then I would say Frank Ocean.
And then Frank Ocean, obviously, which honestly, man,
he fell off the face of the earth too.
Yeah, he did, which kind of sad because I do like a lot of Frank Ocean's music.
Yeah,
he does do some really good music. But damn, reminiscing about fucking groups in high school, and then the thing that took off after them was ASAP Rocky. Do you remember that? Yeah. ASAP.
All the ASAPs.
Fucking ASAP Rocky, ASAP Ferg. Fucking I forget the dude's name, but he had the Point Weinstein, and he passed away. And the ASAP mob, but all them, then they took over, and it was like, oh,
I remember those because my oldest brother was super into them.
Yeah.
I have so I have 4 brothers. Yes,
yeah.
4 brothers, and every one of them is into super different genres of music.
Really?
So at this point in time, my oldest brother was super into ASAP, rap music, all this, and then my middle brother was into a mixture of country and alternative music.
What the fuck?
Yeah, right. And then the oldest, and then the last one was super into country. He's just always been about country. And then the other one was a baby. But it was really different. Then of course me being the girl was super into pop and
Yeah. You like Kelly Clarkson?
I didn't love her, but I liked her, yeah.
I love Kelly Clarkson.
Albums. I liked her Princess Diaries album, the one.
Princess Diaries, yeah. What's that one song? Breakaway? Yeah, that's one of the most famous songs other than what's that other one? Since You've Been Gone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those are the 2 songs you assimilate with Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah, that's why I bought that album, was because of that song.
The guy to get talking. But speaking of Kelly Clarkson, I actually was. Do you know what Kelly Clarkson wore to her American Idol audition?
No.
This is gonna be funny as shit. Let me find it. This is, oh my god, this is the pinnacle of 2000s fashion. Audition. This is fucking hilarious what she was wearing. Let me find it. Her outfit. God damn it. Oh, there it is.
What is that?
Look at that shit.
Wait.
Oh my god. Look, oh my god.
Shirt.
It's, no, she made that out of jeans. She made that out of jeans.
Oh my god.
She made that out of jeans.
I thought it was
that was her outfit.
Oh my gosh, it's insane.
But that's what the fashion was back in the 2000s.
Yep.
It's, oh my god.
How long ago was that? 2001?
I think so. I think that was 2000, 2001. But no, this was 2000s fashion. This is just
peak
2000s. When Lindsay Lohan ruled the world, when Britney was on top. Paris Hilton, when Rihanna was still young. Look at this shit.
They're pop culture icons.
Yeah, pop culture icons.
Yep.
But that's oh my god, the baggy ass jeans and
low rise jeans.
Yeah, low rise jeans, and then the wacky ass sunglasses. It's Jesus Christ. What were people thinking when they were dressing like this? Fergie with that. Ugh. Oh yeah, here's freaking Mariah Carey. Oh my god. Yeah, these are just. Yeah, 29 fashion trends from the 2000s that play on slow loop in your nightmares. Yeah, they ain't wrong about that. Jesus Christ. This is just terrible. Let's see, view gallery. we're going on this. Let's see, the Chloe Paddington. That's actually not too bad. Let's see. That's not too bad either.
Oh, okay, yeah, the capris.
Yeah, the capris. Oops. White tank top. Jesus, that's kind of
I
bad.
remember that.
Stretchy. No, that's. Yikes! That's bedazzled jeans. Dresses over dream. Yikes! That's terrifying. Yeah, fucking Kelly Clarkson.
Oh my God. That's terrible.
That's horrible. But that's what people used to dress like.
I know.
Jesus. Oh my God.
Like, watching YouTube.
Sometimes, yeah. Okay. Obviously, I have a podcast, and I post it on social media and YouTube. But honestly, I'm not a fan of social media.
Really?
No, and here's why. As much as I understand what good social media can do, like connect with loved ones, see someone's stuff we haven't seen in years, like, oh, I'm glad they're doing well. But to me, I think it causes more harm, especially to young kids and young adolescents, trying to compare themselves or become something that they can't possibly be. And not to say, like, oh, you can never be, like, famous or, like, make something of yourself. I'm not saying that, but, for example, my thing is, like, fitness. I'm trying to be fit. And let's say I compare myself, like, I want to be as big as Arnold. Number one, I will never be fucking as big as Arnold. Why? Because one, Arnold did steroids. And two, that dude's a genetic freak of nature. My genetics can never be like that, and I'll never get big as that. Mm-hmm. But when you try your best, the thing I'm saying is that if you try your best and you give 100% and you still don't see the results, the thing you immediately think to yourself is like, oh, I'm failing. I'm nothing. I can't even do that. When in all actuality, your body just can't get to that look, which is okay, because you're still healthy. Right. Your body feels great. You're putting in work that honestly millions, if not billions, of people can't do. But because you have that comparison of, oh, I'm going to want to be exactly like that and become exactly like that, you're essentially going to feel dissatisfied and trying to be someone else and not being yourself. Right. And that's what I think the harm of social media can do. I'm not saying it's all bad. I'm not saying, oh, people shouldn't have it. I think children should not have social media.
No, I agree with that. No, I agree. I also agree, like, that they shouldn't be, like, just sat down with an immediate tablet in their face either, you know what I mean?
No, I agree with that too.
Like, you don't just shut a kid up and there's like, here, be quiet, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's gonna harm their communication skills.
I think, honestly, it harms communication. It also harms imagination. It harms very imagination. Like, I was talking about this the last couple times, but kids, honestly, and now this day and age, I think we can all agree, kids are being raised by the internet.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, which I'm not saying it's not a bad thing, but when you let them solely be raised by the internet, I think that can be harmful. But if there's like a perfect mix, like obviously kids are going to find the internet no matter what because it's so accessible nowadays to when we were growing up. Yeah. Because to grow up, you had to ask mom and dad, hey, mom, can I use a computer? Or even if you didn't have one, you had to go to the library to go use one. Mm-hmm. You know?
No, I agree, but like, it's crazy because they don't know how to entertain themselves. Yeah. Like, without watching something or out. Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, that's...
Like, we were told to go outside and play.
Yeah, exactly.
And come back in a few hours.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's how I was. My internet fun was being outside and playing. And when when I was bored, me and my cousins were bored, we'd think of something to do. Like, obviously, yeah, we'd go play the Nintendo 64 for, like, a little bit, or the PlayStation 2. You know? Maybe, like, an hour or two, but then we'd be like, okay, let's go back and do something outside. I don't know. We would literally, like...
Ride bikes.
Ride our bikes, or we'd get, like, our Legos and build freaking weapons and go outside and pretend to shoot ourselves. Right. And then when we were able to buy BB guns and pig guns, we actually go and actually shoot ourselves. Yeah. But that's what we do. It's because we just think about it because we don't want to be bored and we use our imaginations. Yeah. Whereas nowadays, it's more of, I'll just let them watch something. Or just give them a tablet to shut them up and let them play a game.
No, yeah, I agree. It's just, it's like a temp fix, you know? Mm-hmm. Like if they're crying in a store because you didn't get them something, instead of disciplining them, you're just like, here, watch this.
No, the way I was disciplined by my parents was, if I want something, I have to work for it.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do?
I agree.
It's like, I guess I gotta clean my room and maybe help mom with the dishes.
Yeah.
You know.
That's how it was for me. That's why I had a job at my age. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
17. Because my parents were like, you want to go shopping, you want to go do this and that with your friends and get your nails done every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But that's not coming out of our money. You gotta get a job.
No, I agree. Especially, well, first off, to parents that earn their living, and because I understand. Well, first off, our parents, they own homes, they pay bills.
Well, yeah,
they pay for all this stuff, and
Yeah.
And of course, yes, you do give your kid money so they can go and enjoy themselves. But I mean, there comes a point when you're like, okay, look, if you want to, like, obviously, I'm a dude. All I asked when I had money was like, so I can get a game, or I can go out to the movies with my friends, or maybe buy a shirt, or buy some new jeans or shoes, that's all I asked for. But of course, I mean, for you, it was a lot.
Yeah.
And of course, parents are like, well, if you want to go do that every 2 weeks, get a job.
Yeah. No, it was like, well, because I grew up going with my mom to like the nail salon because she gets her nails done you get your nails done every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Because they grow out and then like they look all weird if you don't take care of them.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's super girly.
That's all good. I have to get used to it. Here's the funny thing. I think because my mom had nothing but boys, I'm gonna get blessed with daughters. I'm gonna have 5 daughters. I'm gonna have 5 girls, so I have to know all this stuff.
But yeah, you have to go like every 2 weeks and get them done. And if not, they just look bad and then you let them fall off or whatever. You take them off, peel them off.
Okay.
And so my mom would go, and sometimes she'd be like, "Oh, you want to get yours done?" And she's like, "I'll get you this time." Or like, just because that's how parents are. They're like, "I'll get you." Well, like I started going with her, and I was like, "Can I get them again? Can I get them done?" Like every time she's like, "Okay, this is getting kind of crazy."
Yeah.
And then that was like the thing that I was like, okay, I was like, if I want to be able to do this, and I was like, not only that, I was like, I'll be able to buy myself my clothes, like the clothes that I want, whenever I want.
Mm-hmm.
Not when like mom and dad are like, hey, you want to go shopping,
Yeah.
And so that's why I got a job at my age. And all my brothers like didn't get a job until like way later, like
damn,
like way later, like. But I guess also like boys are very different than girls.
Yeah, no, we are. My first job came when I was 18. Although
that's still pretty young though.
Yeah, it's still young, but although I still did some like other works when I was younger. Like I still did like jobs like I mowed my dad's grass. I helped mow my grandfather's grass. Did
chores.
Work for him. I did chores, because that's what I was raised to do.
Same.
And it wasn't like, although sometimes you'll be like, oh, I don't want to do it, but you do it anyway because in your mind and your processor, you just know how to work. And to me, hard work I was never scared of. Obviously, if it's something new and different, then I'll be like, all right, I gotta learn it and do something different.
Right.
Okay, it's gonna take me a while, but I'm gonna master it and I'm gonna do the best I can.
Are you the youngest or?
I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest. Okay.
I'm the oldest.
So how old's the youngest?
The youngest, he's 9.
Oh, 9. Okay, so he's a baby.
He's a baby. Yeah, he's a baby, but I think he's gonna be the smartest out of all of us.
So my brother is a freshman in high school.
Yeah.
And,
does he go to Franklin?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's what, 14? 14.
Yeah.
14. Yeah, it's just so insane. Like, I feel like out of all my brothers, no offense to my other brothers, I'm like the closest to my youngest.
Yeah.
My youngest brother, he's just so funny and but they get away with everything. He gets away with everything. Like half the stuff he does, I would not be caught dead doing. Like never. Like sometimes I'm like, hey, you can't be doing that shit. I have to talk to him,
Yeah.
Because sometimes he gets like. My parents just like let it slide, and I'm like, hey, that's not cool. Like,
yeah.
And I'm like, that's not cool with me. You know what I mean?
No,
that's when I'm like, oh damn.
no, yeah. I always tell my brothers, it's a bad situation when I have to be the voice of reason.
Yeah.
Like I've only talked to my brothers like maybe, well, the second oldest, I've talked to him like a handful of times, but it's rare. And the other one, the third oldest, I've talked to him like maybe once or twice. But he's very good at listening. He doesn't like, oh, or, He's very like, okay, like, what do you think? And I try explaining to him. And of course, the youngest one, he's very, he's still like absorbing everything. But no, he's a child. And honestly, I let him be a child.
I mean, my 14-year-old brother's still a child. I'm still like, oh my God, you cannot be in high school. There's no way. You're just like, I don't know, like, they're just a kid. I don't remember me, like, when I was at that point in high school, I didn't feel like that much of a kid, you know what I mean? But, like, I look back, I look on him now, and I'm like, wow, you were really a kid, like, you were a baby then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, we were, like, I don't know how to explain it, how it was in high school, but to me, the last time I was really a kid, I felt was in the 8th grade. I mean, for me, because that was when I had the most fun.
Yeah.
Like, that was when, like, I still didn't have a care in the world. Not saying, like, I didn't care about anything, but, like, really? it was about, like, knowing that I still didn't have any responsibility. Like, I still hang out with friends and not care. If I get in trouble, it's because I always get in trouble. No consequences, really. And that was the most fun I ever had. And then my freshman year, I don't know. It was a weird year. And then sophomore year was the worst. That was just really bad.
Really?
Well, because one, I don't know what it was. It was a combination of things. Like, my mom got really, really sick.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and she suffered really bad. And then my dad my dad's a railroader, so he's out of town, like, all the time.
Okay. So
me having to deal with that and trying to comprehend what's going on, plus school, and I was never really good at school, and then there's a bunch of shit made me do things that I wish I never did. And how should I say it? It's a year that I hated, but I understand why it needed to happen, because it helped make me the person I am today. But in high school, when everyone talks about good times, I mean, I had good times, but I think the good days were the 8th grade for me, the last year of middle school. Which for a lot of people are like, what? Like the last day? But to me, that's what it was, because I still felt I had the innocence left of a child.
Yeah.
And in high school, I felt like I had to grow up, and I had to grow up fast.
I didn't feel that way in high school. I felt like, I didn't feel like we had to grow up. Because, like, growing up, like, some things happened in my life where, like, I was, like, put in a situation where I was made to feel like I needed to be grown up.
Yeah.
So I felt like I grew up at a faster pace
than
the kids around me.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, the way I spoke and the way I, like, acted, the way, my feelings towards everything.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. It's interesting seeing the difference, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there is a difference. Like, don't get me wrong, I had good times in high school. I had some great times in high school, and they were fun.
No. Definitely, no, there were some points in high school, like, I would say freshman and sophomore year were pretty freaking iffy for me. Like,
yeah, like, those are my iffy years, too. Like, if I had the most fun, it was my junior and senior year.
Yeah, I think it's just, like, those first, I feel like when you're first going into high school and it's freshman and sophomore years, I feel like you're trying to figure out who the hell you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, who you are as a person, and, like, what kind of friends you want to surround yourself with, and, like, what your friends are doing to you, and, like, how they're in your life, and what you surround yourself with. You know what I mean? And I don't think we understood, like, at that time how much that affects us.
Oh, it does affect us. Like, the thing, this is something I honestly try to think about, is that obviously people change all the time.
Yeah.
Like, it's a nonstop evolution.
Definitely.
Between people. And sometimes it's a sad thing, but your friends who you knew since birth, end up possibly being your worst enemy through high school and throughout the rest of your life,
Wow.
just because the way they change their mindset. And also, I think one of the things that I think is a lost mentality of our generation is loyalty. I think
Definitely.
loyalty is a
Yeah.
lost thing. Like,
Yeah.
for example, I had a friend of mine who I knew since birth. Like, my parents went to high school with his parents, and basically, you know, I just felt a lot of the things that he did to me and were very obvious. It was just like, wow, motherfucker, you left me out on something. Like, we all planned together, and you tried to exclude me. It's like, what the fuck? What did I ever do?
Yeah.
And it's just like, I see how it is. And
Right?
I think it's a cause of like social pressure, trying to like appeal to your peers and try to be
Right.
like, look at me. Where in high school, I didn't give a shit about that. I didn't give a shit about being popular. I didn't give a shit about, being the most like out there, being the most social. All I literally wanted was to just be. I tried to be myself. Where like my freshman and sophomore year, I wasn't myself, and that's what made me, I guess, kind of suffer. But my junior and senior, when I was trying to figure out who I am, what I'm about, what my morals are, that's when I kind of felt more comfortable with myself. And almost in a way, it was like a karma or God's way of saying, like, let me give you a little rewards. And then I knew more people, and more
Yeah.
people wanted to know me.
Yeah.
So it was like a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, I feel like, okay, so like freshman and sophomore year for me, like I didn't hang out with like one certain group. Like,
Yeah.
I had friends with I had friends in many like
Yeah.
groups, and I hung out with like many of those people. Like at the time, those people were my best friends, and they were like not friends with each other. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And that caused a lot of problems for me my freshman year
Yeah.
because they didn't like each other, and they were like, watch your back because like
Yeah.
I was like, that's
That's
high
freshman
school.
year. It's high school.
high school shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so all that superficial bullshit that comes with
Yeah.
it. And, it's just like, feeling of being excluded and the feeling of, like, just wanting a genuine friend in high school.
Yeah.
And trying to find one, it's really hard.
It's hard. I don't think I had that in high school. I really don't think I did.
So, yeah, so I think that's why my junior and senior year, like, my junior year, I had a friend that, like we did everything together, like, we were best friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then I met my boyfriend, and then it was just, like, it was super different. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it just felt like you was like you and him against the world is what it sounds like to me.
Yeah. I think so. I think, like, because I did have best friends at the time, like, and we were super close, and, like, we did everything together up until that. But, like, I was never the type of girl to be just, like, who gets a boyfriend and was like, fuck you.
Yeah,
know,
fuck
like,
everybody else.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
just with
I don't
him.
have time for you anymore. Like, I had friends
Like,
that I felt like that did that to me.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I didn't want to do that.
I don't want to do that to you, so I want to share my time, basically.
Yeah, so I included a lot of, like, my friends, and he included his friends and my friends, and it was like a group thing. Like, we would always have friends with us. Like, we weren't all, like, PDA, and, like, we didn't make our friends feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, like, feel seclusive
we loved hanging out. Like, it was just our vibe, you know?
Oh, that's a good thing, and I think it's a rare thing, too.
And, like, I would say, like, now, like, even, like, that now, we're, like, chill. Like, our friends come over, and we're, like, hanging out, and they're, like, I would say, like, his friends are, like, his best friends from high school that I still know, and they've become my friends.
Damn, that's cool.
Like,
that's cool shit.
I would say, like, his best friend is super cool, and, like, he comes over all the time, and, like, we hang out with him all the time, and he's super cool, and I would say, like, I'm not as close as to anyone as I was in high school. Like, I don't think I really talked to anyone.
Yeah, I hardly talk to anyone either.
Yeah,
like, the crazy thing is because I traveled for almost 2-3 years in high school, after high school when I graduated, because I was just like, I needed to get away from here. I need to get away from everybody I knew and just go do my own thing.
You did that. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it was honestly, I don't regret it at all. I really don't. Yeah, I needed it. that was to me was my college. I didn't want to sit in another classroom and just having to do bookwork and learn from a professor.
Yeah.
I needed to be out there and learn real life experience, understand different cultures, how to work in the real world and understand what the real world is trying and what it is actually. And when I came back, I felt so much more comfortable and more like prepared for what life was going to give me, to where no matter where I go, I know I'm going to be okay. And the crazy thing is when I came back, since no one knew what ever happened to me, if someone recognizes me from high school, they're like, "Oh shit, it's been like 4 or 5 years since I've seen you. Have you been? Where'd you go, man? You disappeared off the face of the earth." And it's like everyone. And there are even people that I never hung out with. They're like, "Oh fuck, bro, where you been, bro?" And it's like, what the fuck?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What, like, it's weird. Like, it's weird. Like, I don't like attention. I hate attention. When people are swarmed around me and they're trying to ask me shit, I'm like, can you get the fuck away from me so I can enjoy my beer or entertain the guest that I'm with or whatever? Because that's just how I am. I'm very private. I don't like to share my life with strangers. I just don't like it. That's another reason why I hate social media. I just don't like the point of oh, hey, look at me on vacation, or hey, this is what I'm eating today, or hey, this is what I'm doing today.
Yeah.
I don't like to do that.
Yeah.
I really don't. And it's just weird. I don't know what it is. But yeah, for some reason, every time I'm out somewhere and someone taps me on the shoulder, bruh. And I'm like, "Oh, hey, man, what's up? Long time no see." And they're like, "Bro, where have you been?" It's the same shit. And it's happened, multiple times in the past, year and a half.
That's crazy.
It's fucking weird. It's so weird. I don't know how to explain it. I really don't.
I don't like the feeling it brings back, because it's it takes you back to that moment, or that time in your life, high school. I think that's why we don't like it, and because I get that feeling too. But I don't think that's just us. I think that's everyone. I feel they dread people that they know from high school.
Yeah.
Because you get those feelings and those whatever you have associated with that person.
Yeah, definitely.
Those feelings at that time,
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It's just my thing was this might sound cold, but I just didn't really have a care for anybody in high school, because my friends in high school weren't from high school. They were from other places, other people that I met. And it happens all the time, people are I believe God puts people in our places that we need them for, to either to grow or learn or just need somebody in that life.
Yeah.
And I didn't have anybody in high school that really they didn't help me grow in any way. And in fact, they probably hindered me more than anything. Mm-hmm. Just because I'm very good at reading people. And especially when I became older and I was starting to understand what people were about and what people wanted, I was like, these motherfuckers, they want the same shit. It's the same old BS bullshit. Not to saying I didn't knock on that, but it's just I don't want that.
Yeah,
I really don't.
Can I ask what your sign is?
My what?
Your horoscope.
I don't know what my horoscope is.
No way.
No, I've never.
Not that I'm super into it, but I'm just curious.
No, I've never.
When's your birthday?
November.
Oh, so you're a Scorpio. Wait, November what?
13th.
So yeah, you'd be a Scorpio.
I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, that's why we're friends, because I'm a Scorpio too.
Okay. All right.
I was he sounds like you have to get to know, and because what you said when you said you read people really well, I was just dude, same, because I, on another level, can just catch your vibe in a minute.
Yeah?
Not a minute, but I feel I get a good read on people if I get to spend time with them. And then...
Let's see, because I don't know much about zodiac signs or anything like that. I really don't. I'm uneducated.
I'm not crazy into it, but I know enough about mine.
No, yeah. Scorpio. No, I never researched it before. Okay.
They're super into deep connections. We're
Okay, let's see. Scorpio is the 8th astrological sign in the zodiac, originated from the constellation of Scorpius. It spans 210 to 240 degrees under the tropical zodiac sun. October to November 21st. Okay, I don't even know what because I want to know like okay, Scorpio
Traits.
traits. There we go. Scorpio traits. Let's see. Okay. Scorpios are known for being tough-minded and biting, but they also have lots of positive qualities that make them great friends and successful people overall.
I think.
Fuck yeah.
I think we're very loyal.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Let's see. Determined is one of the most well-known Scorpio characteristics. Okay, determined. Brave, loyal, honest, ambitious, jealous, secretive, resentful. Huh. I can say sometimes I can be brave. Loyalty is a big one. Honesty is one I'm big. Ambitious, yes, I do like to set goals. Jealous? Sometimes, yeah.
I would say I'm jealous sometimes, but not like superficial stuff, you know?
Yeah.
What I mean?
Resentful. No, not really. Would you say you're resentful?
I think for like certain situations I am.
Yeah, well, I mean, who isn't? That's one of those that's like a general
life.
thing. It's life. Secretive.
I think I can definitely be secretive.
Yeah, well, my motto is if you tell me something, my thing is I always say I don't kiss and tell.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, don't kiss and tell.
I'm not about like if you. Yeah, I really do. I have friends that I like speak to on and off.
Yeah.
But like when I do speak to them, we like go into it like for hours. We're like talking, you know.
Yeah.
We're like, how have you been? But these people have been in my life since like I want to say like the 6th grade. Like I've known them.
Oh wow.
So they're like good. They're like my true best
Yeah,
friends.
like good concrete friends.
Yeah, but I don't see them like every day. I see them like a couple times a year, or like we get together. Well, now it's more like a couple times a year because of COVID.
Because of COVID and just work
like
and school in general.
Before we would hang out, like, you know, we would see each other a good amount of times. Like they'd come over and we'd have parties and stuff. Mm-hmm. But, they're just like those friends that we would not speak to each other for like ever and ever, and then we get back together and it's like nothing ever changed. Let's talk for hours.
Yeah.
Tell me what's going on, and like she would just tell me about things, and she's like, I've literally never told anyone that to anyone, any of my friends. And I was just like, I mean, don't feel like I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah.
I was like, there's a reason why you came to me and felt like you needed to tell me that. I was like, I'm here to listen to like your story, and like I really want to know about you. You know what I mean? Like that's the type of person I am. Like I'm genuinely interested in like your life if you're my friend, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how I am too. Like that's why I started this, because I'm interested in people and in people's beliefs and people's ideology, like thinking, people's stories, where they come from, how they are, their behavior, everything. It just interests me. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to start this, because I want to know, because the goal of this is to say like, yes, me and you are different, but we're also very similar in what makes us human. Right. Because granted, like I'm a Catholic, I'm a Christian. Some people don't believe in God and whatever, and that's fine. I don't care. I don't force my shit on you. That's one that's wrong. But the thing is, as I want to say is like, even though yes, granted we believe or think different things, I want to share that we're also similar in that one, we're human. 2, we can agree on some things, and also we can agree to disagree on some things.
Not only that, but we can learn from each other.
Exactly.
Literally. It's like not. It doesn't have to be a hostile situation.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Like, I like a good, healthy debate when people tell me, oh, what do you think about this topic? Or what do you think about this? I'm like, okay, here's what I believe, and here's where my morals stand. And these are why my morals stand. Okay, and then someone tells me, well, here's where I think you're wrong, or here's what I think. I'm like, okay, I understand your point. Yeah. But let me explain this. Yeah, but this is mine. Okay, and let me see where your logic's wrong. Well, here's why your logic's wrong. And that's healthy debate. But nowadays you can't do that with people.
Not without getting triggered.
Without getting triggered, or without Karens getting like butthurt about like, oh, you're harming my identity. Because now people's like identity and what they believe in is like, if you disagree with them, you're harming them. You're like, oh, how dare you? Like, that's people's things nowadays. Like, for example, I got I got in an argument with a woman at Firehouse Subs like a couple years ago because Serena Williams was being honored as like female player of the year, which I'm like, yeah, she's the best female player ever. I agree. But she was like, why not the best player ever? I'm like, well, and this is not a knock, but it's like, well, and I hated to say this because I don't like to be confrontational, but it's like, well, it's because she's a woman. Like if she were to play against Roger Federer, like another a male tennis player, the best tennis player in the world, like she'd lose. And like, well, how do you know that? I'm like, well, it's because men are biologically built different than women.
Yeah.
It's not a knock on women because there are women that I've seen that can do some amazing things.
Yeah.
That can do some extraordinary. Like Serena Williams is by far the best, greatest of all time women's player ever.
Right.
And and she's a hell of an athlete. But if she were to place against the number one guy, it's like the odds of her beating that dude is just 1-0. And it's not a knock on women. It's just men are built different than women. That's just how we are.
Yeah.
But she got very offended by that, and I'm like, it's not an offense. It's just biological fact. Like you're telling me, if you were to go play football, that you'd be able to dominate like male football in Texas. Like, you're telling me that. And she's like, well, any woman can do it. I'm like, I'm sure there are probably some, but like, if you were to like, I don't know, I'll take a player. Okay, let's say we take, I can't think of any examples, but we'll take the best, let's say she's one of the strongest women ever, and she has a lot of athletic accomplishments. And like, well, take racing for example. You take Alison Felix. She's like the most competitive and the most. I think she holds the female world record for the 400 meters in Olympic track.
Okay.
If you were to put her against not even the lead, but like I think like out of 10 racers, like the 10th best, like she still wouldn't get close. And that's not a knock on women, and because I respect and I love women because. Men need women and women need men, but it's just there's such a biological difference. And just to see her the way she was like so offended that I said that, I'm like, it's not to offend you. It's like you're denying something that's there.
Yeah.
It's like saying that rock isn't real even though it's right in front of you. That's the way I took it.
What you mean.
Yeah, and like I said, like here's the thing that I always say. I think women are smarter than men. I honestly think so, because women know signs where it's like, for example, when I met my girlfriend for the first time, apparently she had the biggest crush on me, and she's always told me, yeah, there was stuff I did where it's like, I think you noticed, and I'm like, nope. Well, here's the thing a thing I have with guys. There's guys when they actually think and use their brain, or there's monkey brain. And I was using monkey brain because I wasn't thinking straight. I was just thinking, you know what? Nah. Which monkey brain can categorize into two things: being stupid or thinking with the wrong head. You know what I mean. Yeah. But no, there's a difference, but just because we're so different doesn't mean you're still human beings that contemplate each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's my problem with having conversations with people, and that's why I started this, is because people nowadays identify with their soul beliefs that if you question it, they get so hurt and they get so like offensive, and they get offended, where it's like, well, I'm not trying to be hostile. I'm just trying to engage in conversation.
I feel like if you can't have the conversation out there without getting so offended and not without being so hostile, then how are you able to grow or learn in life?
Exactly. Because I think nowadays with people, it's more of what I believe in is who I truly am, and no one can break that. And if someone questions that, you don't know how to respond because you're like I said, it's being raised by the internet. The internet nowadays is like bombards you with shit that thinks that like, oh, this is what you need to be yourself.
Right.
And when you knock that foundation, I mean, it's like, for example, when someone calls you out in a lie. It's like when you're caught in a lie, you're like, oh, fuck. You're like, it's either you either say you got me or you try to make another lie to counteract that lie, and
Right.
you either you stop right there and you're like, you know what, you got me, or it's you build yourself deeper in a deeper hole,
snowballs.
like a snowball effect.
Yeah.
Exactly. And if you knock someone's foundation of something like they believe for either a certain amount of months or years, they don't know, their brain doesn't know how to essentially like function, because you're like, what the fuck? Because it makes you think.
Yeah.
It makes you free think.
Seriously.
And I think people need to engage in that more to understand what as humans who we are. Like obviously like podcasting, for example. Podcasting is a great thing for people to understand different ideals, to understand different people. Like what's a podcast you watch? Or something that you're really into, or several.
They're actually YouTubers. So
okay.
I listen to. Well, actually, I watch them because he does visual too.
Yeah, there's visual and there's audio.
Yeah, I do. I've been watching H3 a lot.
Which one? What is that?
H3. Ethan Klein.
Ethan Klein. Let me look him up. Go ahead and explain.
He's a super popular podcaster and YouTuber.
Klein.
He has like several, like that's what his brand is just podcasts.
Okay, Ethan Klein.
But I recently started watching one because he does a podcast with the YouTuber Trisha Paytas. I don't know if you've heard her.
No, I haven't.
And that one's called Frenemies.
Okay.
And then I started watching that, and those are like, they go from like 2 to 3 hour podcasts. And then and then I started watching his like regular H3 podcast.
Yeah.
And it's just, he talks about anything. It's literally anything, whatever he wants to talk about.
Yeah.
I think it's some people may not find it fascinating, but I think it's so fun to listen to and interesting, and like their points of views on things. And he comments. I like his commentary on like the YouTube world. I'm very much into like the YouTube world. Yeah, like I pay attention to like all the drama and like all the creators. Like I'm really into it. It's kind of like, that's my thing. Yeah.
So you see, for someone like me who doesn't know knowledge about that, like I hardly know any bloggers, any YouTubers, because I'm just not into that thing.
Yeah,
which is fine, but the people who are into that, I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, same. People are like, what do you do? What shows do you watch? And I'm like, I don't really watch a lot of shows. I watch a lot of YouTube.
Like in terms of TV?
Yeah. I mean, I watch shows, of course. Yeah. Like, I have like, my favorite show right now is The Big Bang Theory. Like that's
one of those that I want to get into soon. There's some episodes where I watch. I'm like, that's hilarious.
But like I grew up watching that stuff. Like I had already watched that growing up.
Well, that's how we grew up. Yeah. Like my sitcom was That 70s Show.
Oh my God,
and then Seinfeld. Those were my sitcoms that I watched, and of course The Simpsons and all that.
Friends, that 70s show. Friends are like. Friends is my shit.
I'm not into Friends.
No, why?
I'm sorry, don't crucify me. I don't know what it is, but I'm just like, I don't get it. To me, Seinfeld is my shit.
And I'm not really into Seinfeld. I feel like you either ride for Friends or you ride for Seinfeld. Or neither.
But I don't. That's my problem with a lot of things. It's like you either ride with this or you ride with that. It's like goes back to the Odd Future thing. It's like, why can't we like both? Which, okay, there's a reason why I think honestly the reason why I don't like Friends is because I haven't given Friends a true honest chance.
Oh, okay.
I've seen episodes where I think I might have just seen like not great episodes, and I'm like, it's not my thing. And I think also I think, honestly, I relate more to the characters in Seinfeld. And plus, Seinfeld, there's a bunch of shit and happens in Seinfeld and you're like, what the fuck? Like, there's an episode where Jerry Seinfeld tells some girl who's in love with his friend, and he makes up a lie saying his friend is a marine biologist. And you're like, what the fuck?
Okay.
Like, what? And, like, the dude responds like, well, what did you tell her? Well, I told you you're a marine biologist. A marine biologist? He's like, yeah. But I'm not a marine biologist. I know. So why the fuck did you tell her I'm a marine biologist? Yeah. Well, to get her interested in you. Yeah. Like, it's a bunch of stupid shit. We're friends.
I think it's also the comedy.
Yeah, the comedy is different, too. It's two different types of comedies. But not saying... Just because I don't like Friends doesn't mean it's bad. It's just... My cup of tea and my cup of comedy is different than yours.
Yeah. But I love comedy, though.
Yeah. Okay, let me see about this H3. Okay, Ethan Edward Klein, and also it's a duo. Isn't it? Like, it says a husband and wife duo?
So sometimes she's on, sometimes they're not.
Okay.
But yeah, it's
Let's
him and
see.
the wife, and they just talk about whatever they want.
Yeah. Well, that's
think it's
good.
fun.
When you have the freedom to do that, I mean...
And then, I watch another... So a lot of the YouTubers I watch, just by coincidence, happen to have the same name as me. So,
okay, you gotta start naming me some so I can know.
Just, I don't know her last name. Lauren DIY. It's LAUR DIY.
Lauren DIY.
Yeah.
Okay. Canadian YouTuber.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
She has a podcast. I started watching her, just her YouTube videos, and then she out of the blue was like, "We're gonna have a podcast." And it's like her and her boyfriend's podcast.
Okay.
And her boyfriend's not a YouTube personality. He's just a guy.
He's just a dude.
Yeah.
He's just a regular dude.
Yeah, and
he's the accountant from across the street.
Yeah, and I like their banter, so like I watch them.
Let's see. Wow, Lauren. Oh, I'm sorry if I butcher this. Lauren Kobayashi Rihimaki.
Oh, it's Rimaki or
Rimaki is a Canadian. Okay, she. Oh, wow. As a Canadian YouTuber known for her channel, Lori DIY, as of October 20... Her YouTube channel is under 9 million subscribers. Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy,
that is insane. Right? I wish I can get to that way.
I'm like, these people, the YouTubers I watch are, like, pretty... the bigger ones.
Yeah, like, obviously, like, the most popular ones, yeah. Well... Like, the only YouTubers I know of are honestly the most obvious ones, the Paul brothers. But even then, I still don't watch them.
No.
I didn't even know about them at all until, like, when that whole controversy with Logan Paul happened when he was filming. Yeah, in the forest. I think it was Suicide Forest in Japan. Yeah, well, that happened. And, like, because everyone was talking about it, I'm like, who the fuck are these people? And not to knock on them, but I just didn't know who they were because I don't pay attention to that world. And then, of course, obviously they started getting into boxing, which I love boxing. I'm a fan of boxing. And then when they got into that, I was like, okay. But in terms of that, that's it. And, of course, there's all other YouTubers, but they're older, like Smosh. I remember when Smosh was a thing, and a few other YouTubers, but that's pretty much it.
Right.
Yeah. But... No, there's some podcasts which I still watch. Like, obviously, Joe Rogan's podcast is one of the biggest podcasts ever.
For sure.
Mike Tyson's Hot Boxing podcast. That one's hilarious. Because you get to hear Mike Tyson talk like this.
That's funny.
Yeah, he's smoking. He smokes weed in every episode. Like, especially the one with Eminem. He's like, so you go up in Detroit and you start spitting them rhymes and you start doing this.
God,
like, it's hilarious. Like, I love Mike Tyson. First off, great boxer, great speaker, and plus the dude's just awesome. He's honestly one of my heroes growing up, Mike Tyson.
The Joe Rogan one, I don't watch like continuously.
Yeah, I don't watch it either.
I just watch like episodes here and there.
Yeah.
And also my boyfriend's really into it, so if he has it on, I'm like...
Yeah. No, there's some guests he's had, Rogan's had, where I'm like, okay. And a lot of them, like, a lot of the episodes that he has in guests have really, like, helped me. Like, there's one with a few fighters where I'm like, I can agree with that. I can understand. Like, there's one of my favorites right now I'm listening to, like, every single day is a guy named, oh my God, I can't remember. Let's see, I have him right here somewhere. Darrell Davis. Have you ever heard of Darrell Davis?
Mm-mm.
He's a black man that he attends Klan rallies.
Okay.
And by Klan, the KKK rallies. But here's why he attends them. He tries to go to them and asks the simple question of, how can you hate me when you don't know me? And that's what he goes there for. And since doing that since I think the late 80s and the 90s, he's converted over 200, or not even, probably more than that. He's converted so many men that were either in the Klan or in like National Social Party, aka Nazis or skinheads, out of those groups.
That's crazy.
Like, it's insane, but you think like a black man going to that, you're like, what the hell? But the way he talks about it, and the way he speaks about how America is today and how we should treat race and also bring each other together no matter what race, gender, religion, or background you come from. It's like the goal of being an American should be to come together. And it's very, very interesting and very beautiful stuff of what he talks about.
Right.
But like that's one of the episodes that I like and watched probably like 2 or not 3 times over, just because the way he speaks about it and what he does, it's like you don't hear about stuff like that.
Right.
And it's very interesting. And another one, actually, one that I just found out and started kind of watching is, you know the show iCarly, right?
Yeah.
You know Jenna McCurdy, Sam
Yeah.
Puckett? She started a podcast.
No way. That's funny.
And here's the funny thing. You know they're doing a reboot of iCarly, right?
Yeah, and she's not rejoining.
She's not rejoining it.
Yeah, she has like a lot of problems. She had a lot of problems with Nickelodeon.
Here's the thing I didn't know about. Is one, she had a very bad not an eating disorder. What do you call? I can't think of it right now. What do you eating disorders?
Yeah.
Like where you don't eat, or you try to make yourself throw up and all that. Basically, you try to make yourself skinny.
She's bulimic.
Bulimic, possibly. I might be wrong. Don't.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe, possibly one of those things. And she and I didn't even know this, but she hated her acting career. She hated it. I have no idea, but yeah, she regrets doing iCarly. She regrets doing every little project. They were embarrassing for me. They forced me to do things that I wasn't comfortable with. I was uncomfortable with fame, and it's like you never would have known that.
Yeah,
you never would have known that.
Really.
And it's kind of sad though the way she talks about it, because she's like, yeah, I made good friends, but at what cost did I have to make them? And it's kind of sad. And of course, she lost her mom too a few years ago.
No way.
Yeah, her mom passed away, which was kind of sad too. God rest her soul.
Yeah,
but
that's really sad.
And then of course, yeah, like the controversy with Nickelodeon. Like apparently she didn't get along with Ariana Grande. They fought a lot, which honestly, I try to do research into it to try to understand her point of view. And honestly, I'm not a fan of Ariana Grande.
Because of that?
Because of that. Because there were a lot of things Ariana Grande would do or supposed would do that would be like... Eesh.
I think what nailed the coffin was that she showed up to the Teen Choice Awards. Because what had happened was that... From what I heard, because I watched videos on this too, is that Ariana was getting paid more, right?
Yeah.
And then Jeanette found out and was like, I'm going to boycott the Teen Choice Awards because I want them to pay me correctly and give me like all the same things that you have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I want you to boycott it with me. And I guess she was just like, no.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I thought. That's what I got from the video. But...
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that was true. I don't know. I mean... That's my problem with celebrity life. It's a lot of it is just gossip and shit made up, and you don't know what's true. But I mean, she's obviously hurt from... Jenna McCurdy is obviously hurt from that, and it's very sad to see because honestly, other than the iCarly stuff, like the first stuff I watched from was Malcolm in the Middle. Do you remember that show, Malcolm in the Middle? She was in Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's in Malcolm in the Middle. She's great in that. She's in a couple other like drama TV shows where she's a really talented actress. She's very good. And to hear her say, I hated my acting career, it's like, damn. And the reasons why, it makes you kind of...
That sucks.
It's sad and it sucks, you know, because you're like, dang, you were really good at it. But I understand why, because the fakeness of Hollywood and the culture behind it, and also... the creator of all those shows, I think his name's Dan Schneider, I believe.
He's a creep, right?
He's a creep. He's a weirdo. And that's just like, yeesh. So, I don't blame her, but also at the same time, I'm glad she's doing better. She's out of her eating disorder. And apparently she's now directing, producing, and trying to make, like, short films of her own. Which is good on her.
Yeah.
Like, I'm happy. You know, that's the kind of stuff you want to hear. But yeah, she has a podcast and she talks openly about that stuff. Yeah, I think it's called Empty Inside. Or at least that's the slogan of it, which is like at the same time you're like...
That's kind of sad.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, damn, what the fuck?
That's deep.
It's like, damn, that is deep. But yeah, it just goes to show you that, you know, you could have X amount of money or X amount of followers, X amount of this or that. Doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't.
It doesn't. And I think, as a kid, did you want to be like kind of popular and famous, or like kind of want to live that lifestyle a little bit, to be able to do what you want and have people recognize you and all that?
As a kid, I don't think I like fixated myself like I was interested in like their lifestyle and like them, but like I wasn't like I want that lifestyle.
You want that lifestyle?
I was just like more fixated on like what was going on in my life. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. So you didn't like pay attention to that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But like I just like from that time I just remember like all the pop culture stuff, like obviously, but nothing like
nothing like crazy. We're like, oh my god, I want to be like Jessica Alba.
Yeah. No, I don't think I ever was like, oh my god, I want to be like Paris Hilton.
Yeah.
But like, I remember like when Paris's like reality TV show came out.
I didn't even know she had a reality TV show.
Yeah, like all that stuff. Like that's pop culture and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like I lived through that, so like I remember all that stuff.
Well, now the pop culture phenomenon today is keeping up with the Kardashians.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the Kardashians, which honestly,
well, that's ending. So
I don't know how they're famous. I really don't. The only thing that to me like just clicks why they're famous is because one, Kris Jenner's first husband was the guy that defended OJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm like that makes sense, and also,
Kardashian.
Yeah, Robert Kardashian, and then of course, Kim making the sex tape.
Oh yeah.
That's the only reason. That's the only thing why I think they're famous is because of those two things. Other than that, I'm like, why are these people important?
Yeah.
I personally just don't get it.
I mean, they've made a living for themselves off of it. Though.
Yeah, they have. Like honestly, you cannot mention like power families and you can't mention the Kardashians.
Nope.
It's just weird. It's weird to me.
They rule over like several like things though. It's like the most popular celebrity, the most rich celebrity, and like the most talked about celebrity. It's like the same. It's like the same group of celebrities.
Yeah, exactly. That are talked about. It honestly, I could not ever handle that kind of lifestyle of just everyone trying to stick a nose in your business.
No.
It just sounds disgusting to me.
I don't mind their money.
Oh yeah, the
like,
money would be
like
fantastic.
Disgustingly rich.
Yeah, exactly. Like you could toss hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's peanuts to them.
Yeah. No.
And that's insane.
No, literally.
Like here's a fun fact.
It's disposable.
Like here's a fun fact. Like Michael Jackson, before he passed away, did you know they would pay people to close a grocery store and hire people to walk through the grocery store to allow them to shop and just act like a normal human being in a grocery store? Like seriously, because he couldn't go to a grocery store without people swarming him. Like they would ask a store like, hey, can you close down for like an hour or two, let Michael shop, and then we'll pay a couple people to just be regular shoppers so he can just know what it's like to be in a grocery store. That's kind of sad, but it's kind of like you can't enjoy the simple things anymore. Like you can't go in a grocery store and just shop for groceries. You can't go to a restaurant and enjoy a nice meal because someone's either going to be staring at you, bugging you during your meal, asking for autographs or asking for a picture, not having you have time to yourself, or you can't even go for a walk or run down the street because someone's either going to be taking a picture of you, staring at you, or running after you, trying to ask for an autograph or a picture, or just try to talk to you or tell you something. You can't. Your freedom is just gone.
Yeah.
It's in a way, it's like selling your soul, but I mean, I know some people aren't. A lot of them aren't like prepared for what they do. It's just some of them are just gifted at a certain, whether it's acting or fashion or music or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much like signing a contract that says my freedom is no more.
Right?
There you go.
But I guess like some of them want that.
Some of them do want that.
So.
I mean, yeah, I can't. You got what you wanted. What do you want me to do about it? Don't complain to me about it.
Yeah, like I don't feel sorry for you.
Well, did you see the interview with Prince Harry and all them?
I didn't watch it, but
I didn't watch it either.
The news about it, yeah.
Well, I don't know anything about it, but apparently there's this whole controversy saying that the Queen is a racist and they hated royal life and all this stuff. And
okay, so I was just like, I mean, okay, the royal family has their issues. They were already involved in like seedy shit like way back when.
Oh yeah, I mean, first off, the royal family is I forget what the term is called when you marry like family members. I can't think what it's called. What's the term for? Because it's been going on for like ever. I forget what it's called. Marrying family members.
I don't know, man. Like, they just did some crazy shit. Like, I know for World War II, they had, like, their hands in bad shit. You know?
Oh, yeah. No. I can't think of the term, but it's when like, it's like when you get your first cousin and you marry like your other cousin. It's like that shit's been happening in royal families since forever.
That's gross.
Like it's disgusting, and it does some fucked up shit to DNA.
Your family. Yeah. I was like about to say, doesn't that mess up like your family lineage?
Yeah, it does. Like deformities come of it, like genetic disorders, diseases, like it. That's why. That's honestly one of the reasons why I believe in God is because the body is made a certain way, and if you fuck that up in any way, like there's consequences for it. It may not be like right then and there, but it'll happen down the line.
Yeah. That's weird.
I mean, but no, English families used to do that.
Yeah, no, I believe it, but like I don't know. I just don't get the obsession with them. I'm like, who cares?
I don't get it. Well, first off, the Queen's not in charge anyway. She's just a prop.
That's what I'm saying. But like, I was like, why do we, as Americans, give a shit?
Yeah, exactly. That's my thing too.
I'm like, why do we give a shit? I was like, we don't owe them anything.
Yeah, we don't owe them a goddamn. Like, why? That's my problem with fucking celebrities. Why do we give our time to them? Why should we give a shit about what they do?
But they're not even celebrities. They're
exactly. They're just royalty. But, like, why should we give them our time?
They're not our royalty.
Exactly. Like, why should we give a shit about that? Why should Oprah... I mean, I get it. It's Oprah's job, but why do we give a shit? But I think it's a cultural thing. All because they're big and we have to have our eyes glued to these people's lives and we're so infatuated with it because it's royalty.
Yeah, like I understand like right now it's scandalous because they're speaking out against the royals and the royal party, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
like before then why? Like their weddings, excuse me.
No, you're good.
Their weddings or like I was like, I don't care. You know?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, personally, I don't give a shit. I really, honestly, do not give a shit what celebrities do, and people in royalty or other whatever. They do whatever the fuck they want. They're in their country or they're in their own thing. They live their life. What the fuck do I care? It doesn't involve me.
Yeah, same.
Like it doesn't involve me. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
But I just don't understand. And also another thing, apparently people are complaining about is that. If they want to be left alone and they don't want nothing to do with anything, why invite Oprah?
Why invite not that? And why are they still inviting like talking to the media?
Exactly.
Like, just go and live your life. Then.
Exactly. Honestly, it's just utter nonsense. But first, cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah. Nothing better than a Modelo.
It's really good, honestly. Refreshing.
Yeah. No, they're honestly my favorite. Like you said, you're a fan of IPAs, right? Because of the IPAs, or are you not really?
I'm a fan of some of them. Some of them are hoppier than others.
Okay.
And I'm not really about the super hoppy life.
Yeah. Well, I'm just not a big fan of IPAs in general. I've tasted a lot of them, and I'm just like, I don't know what it is. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of them.
Are you into like craft beers?
I do like craft beer. I like dark beers.
Okay.
I really do like dark beers, especially when they're crafted dark beers. Like obviously a place where I've had some really good craft beers. Honestly, is Twin Peaks.
Oh, really?
Twin Peaks has some really good craft beers. Like they have a Dirty Blonde or Naughty Blonde. I can't remember the name is, but they have a really good one. It tastes almost like coffee, and that's why I like Guinness a lot. Guinness is a really good one.
That's super dark.
There's I forget There's a drink that someone actually taught me about. I don't know if you remember Alex from Julio's. The very You know.
The other bartender, right?
Yeah. Well, he unfortunately doesn't work there either.
No way.
Yeah. Oh, it's a long story. Actually, you know what?
Tell it to me.
I'll tell you about it. But let me first up look up this drink, like Guinness.
Is it with
beer? What's up?
Is it with cider?
No.
Oh.
It's with Irish whiskey.
Oh, it's an Irish car bomb.
Yes. Yes.
Irish car bomb.
I love that. He showed it to me, and he was like, "Let's do Irish." No, hold on. Let me try. I'm really good. I'm trying to do voices because people tell me I have a gift for voice. He's like, "Baby boy, let's do Irish car bombs." I'm like, "What the fuck is an Irish car bomb? What the fuck is that?" And we were at Tortugas.
Oh my god.
We were at Tortugas, and I'm like, "What the fuck is an Irish car bomb?" And it's Irish cream with Irish whiskey and Guinness, and you drop it in there, and it's fucking delicious. It's really good, but that'll fuck you right up.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, just like one of those.
Okay, so here's the story about Alex. So what happened was, we just got back from quarantine. It was July-ish, like the end of the July, beginning of August. And basically, I don't know the full details. This is just what people told me. Is that pretty much he, I guess, disobeyed one of our managers, and basically it was like his last straw. So unfortunately, they had to fire him, which was kind of sad because I loved the guy. But here's why honestly it got really murky. Okay. Afterwards, is because we reached out to him. I reached out to him. He's like, "Hey man, you ever need anything, let me know." No one replied back for like a month or two or so, and it's like, oh man, hope he's okay. We tried getting in touch, me and another group of friends with him because we cared about him. And I owe him a lot. I really do. I will never thank him enough for the help that he gave me. But yeah, it just disappeared, and I was like, all right. I mean, maybe he just needs time. I don't know. Well, here's what happened. So I was supposed to come in the late evening shift, and my other friend Nate, he was in the morning shift, and he texts me. I'm literally right about to get there, and he's like, "Hey, Alex showed up." I was like, "Oh, how is he?" I'm like, "Dude, you don't even want to know." I'm like, "Oh shit, what the fuck happened?" So apparently, he showed up to Julio's drunk, already fucked up, and I was like buying shots of 1942 and all the expensive liquors, and he was getting very verbally aggressive with Nate, like, "Nathan, get me my shot now, god damn it." And basically calling all of us fake, that we didn't care about him and all this shit. And it's like, what the fuck? Where's this coming from?
Oh my god.
And basically they had to kick him out of the restaurant. They had to kick him out.
Oh my god.
And when he told me that, he's like, "Dude, I've never been so pissed off in my life about it. Never been so pissed off." And I'm like, what the fuck? What happened? It was just, to me, it was like, what happened? What made him act that way? I just didn't understand it.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. It just came so right out of left field.
What had happened to make him get there, right?
I don't know. I honestly do not know.
How is the work situation there? Is it like the environment? Is it nice?
Where, at Julio's or at FedEx? Well, here's the thing with Julio's. I first off, I love my boss. He gave me a lot, and he gave me opportunities, and I will never be grateful. But here's the problem, and why I think it's a problem to work there. You work a lot, and you almost work for nothing.
Yeah.
You work 6 days a week, and you're asked to do a lot of double shifts.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, wow. It's rough. It's tough. And but honestly, if you're about hard work and you're about evolving as a person, then you'll survive and you'll thrive. You'll become better out of it. But if you can't handle that type of work and can't handle that kind of shit, it's just gonna break you. It's ultimately gonna break you. I've seen so many people come in and go, and some people that just can't handle it. I've had a few times when I've had to yell at people because I'm like, what the fuck is your problem? Why can't you show up on time? Why can't you understand this? Why can't you understand this? Or the simplest of things. I had to tell somebody literally where to get fucking iced tea. Because they were like, "Can I get the unsweet iced tea?" And I'm like, "Dude, the unsweet iced tea is over there." "Yeah, I know, but I need the unsweet iced tea." I'm like, what the fuck?
People are just stupid.
People are just stupid. And I'm like, where are we finding these people? Under a fucking rock?
Stupid or just lazy?
I think both. I don't know what it was, but yeah. And then basically, when it was like December time. It was like about to become December, and I'm very intimate with my girlfriend, and I just needed a career or a job to where I can possibly start a career off of and just take it to that next step. Because my plan is to ultimately to marry her and we can start our family and be together.
Yeah.
You know, because we're both mature and we're ready for that next step. And it's like, I'm not going to work at this bar, be a bartender and work at this restaurant for the rest of my life. So ultimately, I put in my last few days and I was like, look, I have an opportunity and I can't let it up. And I started working for FedEx. But my boss asked me, what's the reason why you're actually leaving? I'm like, well, number one, we gave a lot to that bar and I don't felt compensated for what I was giving back.
What did you say to that?
Well, first he's like, well, what do you mean? And I said, well, because one, we made a lot of money for that restaurant. Like people, like we made so many regulars. Like obviously you and your mom were my regulars.
I literally wouldn't I met you because of that.
Exactly, because of Julio's. Yeah. Because of me serving you. And it was honestly always awesome when you guys came in the door. I'm like, fuck yeah, they're here.
I was like, yes, Christian's here. When someone else is there, I'd be like, no, why? Where are my bartenders?
Yep. It's like, you guys were it was so lovely to serve you guys. It's like, fuck yeah. One, because you guys were easy to serve. You get your margarita and your mom would get your cucumber margarita with no rim. Yeah. No rim. Yeah, no rim. No rim. And you guys would always share like a plate of flautas with the guac on it. Yeah. It's like, I know them. They're so easy. And I love talking to them. They're great. It's so fantastic. But we made so many regulars. Mm-hmm. So many regulars. Like, before COVID hit, we were popping. Like, we made the most money in all the restaurant. And literally, had COVID not hit, I was literally prepared to get all of the bartenders together. Like, let's ask George for raises. Because we were getting paid, like, I think, maybe $7.75. And then with tip share and the percentage of the alcohol, so maybe making $9. I'm like, yo, let's ask for raises, because we're contributing a lot and we've stayed with them like loyalty. And we were going to do that because we were also, before quarantine hit, we were going to introduce summer drinks. Like I was going to introduce because we hardly sell gin. It's like, hey, let's promote ginger ale and gin. People love that shit, especially Mexicans. Let's promote that. I wanted to promote rumchata, like for summer root beer, spiked root beer floats. Get some root beer or use Dr. Pepper and rumchata. Boom, here's a spiked root beer float. We had so many ideas and he was like on board with them. He was so on board with them. But of course quarantine happened and it wrecked all our plans. But honestly, we were prepared, like with all these ideas, like let's go ask for raises. Because we put in our part and broke in our back. Like basically, I don't know when they're going to do it. It's not my problem anymore, but they were planning on building a patio, especially when quarantine.
Where,
They're going to, the front of the building where like the parking lot is? Oh, okay. They're going to expand that and made that into a...
Oh, like an extended patio.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. That was coming from the money we made. Just bartending made.
That's insane.
From the patio. That's how much money we made for that restaurant. And we just felt like we needed to be compensated. And when I told them, like, look, sir, I understand times are tough. I get that. But look, I've given 1.5 years to this place. And there's nothing you can do to, like, just make me stay. Like, I'm sorry to leave. I'm thankful, but I've got to think about my career and my future. Yeah. And where it goes.
I get that, hey.
Yeah, which it hurts, because I did love that place. It was fun, yeah. It was so much fun.
That's how I felt, that's how I felt leaving my bartending job. Well, my bartending job. Because, like, a couple months before I met you, like, I was bartending.
Where'd you bartend at?
Okay, so... you know where 150 Sunset is?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there's a bar there called the Substation, like across the street.
I know exactly where that is.
That bar, I was bartending there, and it had been like I would say like almost a year. Like I was bartending there, almost a year. And I don't know, man. They just like didn't have it together. Like the owners didn't have it together, and like they weren't paying us right. And I felt like I was like ready to go above and beyond for them if they were willing to pay me. I was ready to take on the manager role. I was like, yo, pay me manager. Like, let me be manager. I can do this shit. I can manage the shit out of this bar. I was like, you've already had problems like finding a suitable manager. I was there for a year and we went through 3 managers.
Oh my god.
Hello. I was like, we went through 3 managers and we've been through like we couldn't keep employees. Like we literally couldn't. I was literally the stable one there. Jesus and I was like, Christ. Make me manager. Like, what do I have to do? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't give me a raise. I was tired of it. I was just like, they would come in, they would get shit-faced, dude. Yeah. Like like the owners of the bar, I was like, dude, I didn't sign up to like take care of the owners of the bar every night. Like,
I'm not here to be a babysitter.
Yeah, that's literally what I told him. I was like, I'm not a fucking daycare. Like, this isn't just like a place where you guys can come and be like, hey, let's go hang out after work.
Fucking unprofessional as shit.
And that's what they did. Like, that was their little side business. Like, it was a group of guy friends who came together and were like, let's open a bar. They opened the bar and like on their side as their side business, and they came to the bar after their real jobs and then had drinks and that, like, they would be stupid drunk with me.
Jesus
and here
Christ.
It is, it's like 1:30 in the morning and I'm like, you need to close out your tab.
And it's like, okay guys, can we go home?
He's stupid drunk. Like, there's 3 owners and it was just, there was never a constant line of like communication. Like, it was always 3 individual inputs because they didn't work together.
Because they didn't work together,
It was a lot, and I was ready to take that on and take all of their shit together and be like, let me do it.
Like, let me do it. I can
do it. I can get this bar under control. I was like, I can clean it up. I can get it running together. I can get a menu together. Let me do it. And they just didn't want to, and I was just like, I was over it. I was over the one working the hardest. And not getting paid enough, and I was like, and I've been here the longest. Yeah. And I was like, why hasn't anything changed?
And you were like, you felt like the only stability in that place.
Yeah, they weren't even wanting to put in work. So I was just like, yo, you can't own a place and not want to do any of the work. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like, how do you expect a place to thrive, and a place to be successful if you're not willing to allow that, if you're not allowing it to be successful, if you're holding it back?
So I left them for Dillard's because I got a good good offer at Dillard's, and it wasn't seasonal. It happened to be part-time, like a full. Yeah. Well, they offered me. He gave me the option. He was like, "Do you want seasonal or do you want to stay?" And I was like, "No, I want to stay." Like, fucking $15.
Fuck seasonal. Yeah.
$15 an hour is nice. Like. That's
nice crazy.
Pay. That's a nice pay. So
that is a very nice pay.
So I was like, no, I'm good with permanent. Keep me here. Part time still. Even was 40 hours a week. You know what I mean?
Damn, no shit.
I'm not kidding you. And so I was doing part time, and I was also going to school. I was just I was losing my shit. I was just over it. And then I was also working there around Christmas time. I got hired in October in preparing for. Holiday season, the worst mistake of my life. I'll never, ever, ever go into retail at at Christmas time.
No,
oh my god.
Yeah, no, that's how I was when I hired at FedEx, because I hired when it was peak season.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I shit you not. Almost every day, 1 or 1:30 or 2 in the morning. Till 8 and 9 o'clock at night. 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry, not at night.
You're insane. That's
but
insane.
But it fucking paid.
Yeah, no.
It was worth it. You were making now we're doing since peak season's over. Obviously, since Christmas and this holidays are over, I'm doing 20 hours. But even then, since you get a raise every. Well, I just actually got a raise. I'm still making over $300 in 20 hours.
That's awesome.
Yeah, imagine if I made 40.
Yeah.
I make more.
That's crazy.
But still, it's a job, and plus it's a career. It's a career thing that you can do.
Yeah.
And so it's I'm good where I'm at.
How'd you get it, or how'd you hear about this job?
Honestly, I don't know. I think just some people were telling me that like, oh, FedEx is hiring or UPS is hiring because COVID was around and more people were ordering shit off the internet and shipping more. So people were really saying like, oh, you should try FedEx. You should try to do that. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just try. Let me try. So I looked online like, hey, any openings for FedEx? And then they emailed me like, oh, opening for a package handler. So I'm like, fuck it. I'll apply and see what happens. They got back to me like literally a few hours later and was like, are you still interested in the package handler position? I'm like, oh, yes, I am. Would you be able to come for an interview Tuesday? I'm like, actually, can we do Wednesday because I still work at my old job Tuesday? They're like, yeah, that works. I'm like, okay, perfect. So I put in my last day for Julio's, had my last day, and then retired from bartending. And then I went the next day and instantly, from looking at the warehouse, looking at how everything went, I'm like, I just fell in love with it. It's basically my job is to play Tetris in the truck. That's my job. And it's fun. It's so much fun.
That's awesome.
Hey, don't get me wrong, it's hard work, but it's so much fun.
Yeah.
And I've now been working 3 months. And
already? It's been 3 months?
Yeah, it's been 3 months
So you've been
now.
gone for Julio's for a minute then?
Yeah, for a minute. A long while. Yeah. I still go there because I love their breakfast. And plus, Chelsea and Nate make the best. And the Nates make the best margaritas ever.
Oh my god.
In the city.
My mom's going to be so sad when I tell her that you guys don't work there anymore.
Well, I mean, I don't work there, but the others still work there.
But, no, we only know you and
Nate.
Yeah.
Little Nate still works there.
Wait, that's the one that got drunk? No.
No, Alex.
Alex, sorry.
Yeah, Alex doesn't work there.
Yeah,
no
we
more.
were the only two. You guys were the only two that we really talked to.
Yeah, well, if she wants, I can come. I can make her. I can still make her some margaritas. She wants.
Are you ready for July though?
I am.
It's approaching fast.
It is approaching fast. So for those who don't know, I am leaving El Paso and I'm going to California. Me and my girlfriend are gonna. Well, we're not gonna live together yet till we're married, but I'm gonna go move out there to start the next chapter of my life. Yeah, I'm excited. I honestly can't wait.
Yeah,
I really can't wait.
Have you found a place? Are you looking at places?
Not yet. I'm gonna start looking for places soon. I need to start like saving money before it's like okay, official. Well, my goal is to have at least $5 or $7 grand in the bank, because obviously California is extremely expensive. Yeah. Yes, but here's the thing though, is why I'm not stressing about it. My girlfriend's a biologist for the Air Force.
Oh my gosh.
Like she's incredibly smart. I love her so much, and she's almost as hard, if not more hardworking than I am.
Okay.
Like like I said, she loves lists.
Right.
She's organized.
Yeah.
I'm not. So
that's funny.
Yeah. So if I wanted to, I don't have to work, but I'm not like that. I need to work. Because if I can't work, then I'm miserable and I'm depressed and I can't function. I have to work.
I'm learning this about myself, that I'm like comfortable with not working. Because like the thing I have going on is like I live like, I know this sounds fucked up, but like I live between like my parents' house and like my boyfriend's house. So like, I go back whenever I want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So like you're like, oh, I'm gonna go stay with my boyfriend tonight.
Yeah. Like I literally play like stay-at-home daughter and like housewife. You know what I mean?
My parents call me the tenant here because it's like when I get home from work, I go and take a nap, and then I come out when I either go work out or eat, and then
that's just like
that's it.
That's what happens when you have like a kid over 18 years old in your house.
Yeah, that's honestly how it is.
And my mom knows, like, she's like, you're an adult. Like, I mean, she would prefer if I didn't spend the night at my boyfriend's house. Yeah. She'd really prefer, and I really try hard not to, just out of respect. Because
but that just goes how a good mother you have, though, because I mean, I'm sure every mom knows.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 25 too. Like,
yeah,
I'm closer to 30 than
that's true. Like, that's true. You're in the middle. You're right there. You're right
there. And like, again, I'm the only daughter, so
yeah, that's true too.
And all the brothers are away, except the baby. So I'm the only one living at home. So I'm like, living the best life. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it because, again, like, I work.
Yeah, of course.
And honestly, I'm enjoying the time with my little brother. I really am.
Damn.
And he knows that he knows that it's coming soon, that I'm permanently going to move in with my boyfriend, because my boyfriend and I just literally got a place. Like, we bought a place this past October.
Okay.
It's like right off of Escondido. It's a little.
Oh, that's where my cousins used to live, in Escondido. I love that place. Yeah, yes.
It's like a little. It's not a condo, cause.
Are they the apartments in Escondido?
They're not apartments. No, it's like, okay, so they're smaller houses.
Okay.
I don't want to say it's a condo. Yeah, it's not a condo because it's not. No, they are connected. Are they connected?
I think I know what buildings you're talking about.
They share a wall. Like we're not together at the same building, but there's a wall and like, whatever. It's its own house. But yeah, we got that place and he's fixing it up, and that's the only reason why I haven't moved in permanently it's because we're fixing it up and we're having a lot of stuff redone and like there's things being torn down and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be there during the day by myself with like all the workers and I don't know.
Let's see. Yeah, there's the West Townhouse, obviously.
Look, I'll show you. I have it on Zillow.
I'm sorry, y'all won't get to see it. That's that's private.
Yeah. So, but he did live in an apartment before, and then he's like, let's.
Is he living by himself, or is he still living with his parents?
No, he's living by himself currently.
Cool.
It's this house. Okay, yeah. Okay, here, we can scroll.
Let's see. Oh, I know exactly where these is. Oh, wow, that is really nice.
It's super spacious.
Nice yard,
it's
too.
It's perfect for two people. Like.
Yeah, no, it really is perfect. Water heater tank. That's a really nice. Yeah. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, I know.
That's not bad. Especially split between two of you.
Yeah, we were super excited.
That's really nice. No, but those are goals and those are things that I think people, especially young adults, should set. You know, I mean, I suffer from anxiety and depression, so for me, setting small goals helps a lot.
Oh my gosh.
It helps. I mean, I don't know how it is for you, but for me, when I set small goals and I achieve them, and then it's like, okay, let me set up another one now. It's like I feel like there's a purpose for living, because you trick your brain into thinking like, okay, now what's next? What's next? What's next? What's next?
See, that's why I like lists.
And a good what's next.
Yeah, and I do. I suffer from the same things, and I think that this quarantine and this like whole thing has, like, it's been a roller coaster. For me, I don't know about for you.
No, it was for me.
Like,
it was.
When the highs were highs, the lows were super lows, and I just struggled a lot, and I think it really opened up my eyes to like how I need to work on like those things for myself and like get better in that way. You know what I mean? And, but I don't know. It's really opened my eyes on how I need to treat my anxiety and how I need to treat myself and my well-being.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's what I mean. Like when you said you finally had time for yourself, that's honestly, it's the ultimate cure for. Yeah. I think for depression and anxiety is when you have something that you can do when you just feel like you can breathe and you can just like take your mind off of work, off of school, off of stresses of the world, or even sometimes your relationship. Like, yes, relationships can sometimes be exhausting, but that's okay. That's okay.
It's part of life.
It's part of life, exactly. It's a team effort. Your team has, the individuals in the team have different struggles. Like, like the thing is like, oh, there's no I in team yet, but there's an I in win. Your goal is to to win and become, the best couple for each other.
Yeah.
Because iron sharpens iron. Your boyfriend or your girlfriend makes each other better. Your husband and your wife, or husband or wife, they complement each other.
Right.
They complement each other, and that's the goal of what to do. But sometimes the best way to make yourself better is to just take time to do something that you need, not want, need to do. Like for me, something I really love to do is pack my bags, take my rod, and go fishing.
Oh, that's nice.
Especially when you're at the lake, all by yourself. There's no one for miles. You just hear the breeze rushing through the trees, and you just hear your pole and the line just go through to the water, the cast, and you just hit the water, and then you catch your fish. Like that to me is just peace. That's nice. Peace and quiet. Yeah. I'm just like, that's to me is time to myself.
Yeah.
What's something I guess that you like to do where you're just like, this is me.
I know this is kind of lame, but last year in around April time, I was like, I really want Animal Crossing. The game was barely coming up.
The app?
No, the game on the Nintendo Switch.
I don't play Nintendo a lot, so I don't. I just saw it as now it's an app on your phone where you can play now.
That one's called Pocket Camp.
Okay.
But this one is for the Switch.
Okay.
And I wasn't really into I had my Switch, but I wasn't really into playing it. I would play it when people would come over and
so like a group thing, like Mario Kart.
I wouldn't play it by myself and play games, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then Animal Crossing came out, and I was like, I really want it, and all the hype around it. It was everyone was talking about it, and I was like, I really want it. I want to play it. I don't know what it is, but I want it. And, I got it as a gift, and I can spend hours on that. Just playing it.
Yeah. No, you're good.
It gives me relaxation. I don't know what it is about it. It's calming. You get to just do your own thing. You basically build your own island, and you live on it, and you make it sustainable, and you plant trees, and it's you build.
You build your own world, your own town, your own society.
Cute. It's just really cute. It's doesn't take any thinking, and it's just something to do. Something I do to unwind. Yeah. So it's something I after I make dinner and after I clean up the kitchen, I play that for an hour before
an
I go
hour
to bed.
Just to
Yeah, and I'm so I get to sit on the couch and just chill.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
That's your.
Yeah, that's my thing. That's what I do for an hour a day, maybe.
So So have you always suffered with anxiety or depression, or is this something that's fairly recent that you've struggled with?
Okay, I would say I struggled with anxiety problems since I was little, but I wasn't diagnosed with anything or treated for anything until a couple years ago in my life. Mm-hmm. I did go to counseling up until then. I had gone to several different counselings since I was little, just to work on me. Mm-hmm. But the more recent years, it's been getting. I think it's triggered by school and just general stress.
Yeah.
At the more recent years, it's been getting worse and worse, and where I just have to stop and take a minute because I literally stop breathing.
Do you just feel it internally and physically, or
it's it feels. So what I try to tell people about my anxiety, I don't know about for anyone else because everyone's different. Yeah. But my thing is it feels like someone's choking me from the inside. It feels like my chest is closing in on itself. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I can't breathe, and I'm oh my god, what's going on? That's my panic attack or anxiety attack. Yeah. That's what triggered or that's what happens when it's triggered, and I just have to step back and be okay, chill. And it's usually triggered by things that I can't control, when things are out of my control, or I can't control a situation, and it's stupid mundane things that trigger it, and I didn't even think that we're gonna trigger it. Over quarantine, I think this was in October, November, we had some friends those same friends come from Houston.
Yeah.
And he brought his girlfriend that time, and we were doing like a double date game night, and it was super fun.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, and we do this with like a lot of our couple friends.
Yeah.
So next time your girlfriend comes, we'll have one.
For sure. Most definitely.
And I was like, let's just have a game night with your friends and take it easy at the house since it's still quarantine, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And they came over and we were playing Uno, and I literally had an anxiety attack because I couldn't control like what the next person was gonna put down. Like I literally had to.
Really?
Like I don't know if it was just like the situation. Like
was it just you being competitive, or was it just?
I don't. No, I think it was just like that point in time. I just was super. I was just anxious about like in general, like in my life at that point in time. Yeah, and I was just like on the edge of my seat the whole time. You know what I mean? And then that just triggered it, and I literally had to take a step back because I thought I was gonna cry, and I was like, "This is insane. This has got me." Like, I never get like this over something so stupid, especially. You know what I mean? So, and it's hard to explain to someone, like, how this makes you feel, you know what I mean?
No, it's incredibly hard to essentially...
And without making me feel like that's stupid. Like, I know, like, when I try and explain to my boyfriend, like, what triggers it, I'm like, I know it sounds stupid. Like, it sounds crazy, I know, but...
I think we need to, honestly... as people need to stop saying like when we feel things it shouldn't sound stupid,
right?
Because it's how we feel. But I think honestly if we're telling someone that we love and we care about, we shouldn't have to tell them. I know it sounds stupid. It's just like, look, this is what I'm feeling and this is how it feels and this is the best way I can describe it. But it seems to me the way you described it, the way you're describing like your attacks and what triggers you is that you get triggered by things that you just know are out of your control.
Yeah.
And that's a general thing that people struggle with entirely. I even struggle with it. Not to much as extent, because I understand that not everything's in my control. There are a lot of things that happen that are completely out of my control, and I'm okay with that. But that seems like that's like especially like just during a game, where a game is where it's the odds are out of control.
Yeah,
that might have just triggered it to where it's like, what card is he going to put down? And that's just something in your mind where a chemical just goes in and it just allows your brain to just panic.
And I did, and I panicked, and then it freaked me out even more because I was just like, wait, once I took a step back and was like, why am I panicking about this? Because I was like, this isn't me. I don't give a shit if someone else wins. This is just fun. I get to spend time with my friends, and we get to have a game night. Like, that's fun. Like, that shouldn't make me feel.
And then you go from there and you're like, why am I feeling? And then, oh, you are feeling, but why am I feeling? And then you're going down a rabbit hole of shit.
And so, but since then I would say it's gotten significantly better. It was just like that period of time in my life. I was just so severely like anxious for some reason. Yeah. But it didn't last a long time. It was like, that doesn't rarely happen. I don't get triggered like that super easily. It usually has to be like something massive or something.
Well, that was a time period where honestly people were they just didn't know what to do. I mean, literally for a whole year your life was just put on hold.
Yeah.
Like people had to cancel weddings, or people had to have weddings without close friends or loved ones. People had to have funerals without close friends or loved ones. Like, you had to put plans on hold. You couldn't go see like your grandparents without either wearing a mask or having to stand like 6 feet away. Like you're not used to that. It's out of your cycle of normalcy. It's out of your revolution of just what you're used to. And because of that, your brain has to find a way to adapt. And for a lot of people that are just not used to that, you go haywire, you go crazy. So your brain's already on edge. So the littlest of slightest things, like an Uno game or like simply like, I don't know, like maybe not catching the light in time when you normally catch it, like, can trigger you. Like, the slightest of things, because we're just out of normalcy because of something that we don't experience, like, happens.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean,
like today, I wouldn't say I was triggered, but like a little anxious, like something. It's just like, what do I call them? What would I call them? Because it's not like full blown meltdown. It's just like a little. Oh God, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like a
yeah.
Like you need to take a deep breath.
Yeah, and it was as I was coming over here, I was like, I'm like anxious because I'm like, what are we gonna talk about? Like, I'm boring. Like I literally don't do anything. Like, I'm not even working. I'm just going to school. Like literally just everything crossing my mind. And I was like, why am I anxious? I'm so happy. Like I'm actually happy I get to see a friend. Like it's been so long. Like I get to get out of the house. All this, I got all my work out of the way. There's nothing I need to be panicking about. Like, so I was just like, no, I'm good. But it's just like little things that are like that. Like, why am I anxious about that? You know?
Yeah, no, it's little things like when I didn't suffer with anxiety or depression until I was 21 years of age.
Okay.
And this is what happened. I was traveling, and I was in Minnesota, and I was with friends. You know, we went out to eat Chick-fil-A, and then all of a sudden I felt just my heart racing and pumping, and I'm just like, what? Why the fuck do I feel this way? So I went to go meditate and pray and try to like understand, like, okay, maybe I just need to relax. And then all of a sudden I'm like in point A, then I end up in point B, then point C, and I'm all over the place, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And having heart flashes, like heart palpitations, where like my heart is beating, I'm sweating, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And it happens like for 3 days straight where I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So I went to a doctor, and she's pretty much like, yep, you have severe anxiety and you have high depression. And it's like, oh, great. So then, of course, they put me on medication, which all they put me on were just antidepressants, which not saying medication is bad. Don't be ashamed to take medication. If sometimes you need to go on medication, it's fine. Don't feel ashamed of it. But I just wasn't educated about anxiety and depression and all that stuff because I'm like, that could never happen to me. I mean, I'm good. Nothing horrible's happened to me. Well, I mean, there's stuff that's bad that's happened, but it's just like, that's life, you know. Everyone's got their problems.
Yeah.
That's my thought process. And when it was going on and happening, it was just like, what the fuck? And for that full year of 2019, I just needed to know how to, get a grip on it. And of course, taking my medicine, which all it did was like it's antidepressants. For those who take antidepressants, you know, they mellow you out. They just numb a problem that still lingers there. Like the way I like to describe either an addiction or an illness or something that just pokes at you, it'll leave you alone for like a few minutes or a few months.
Right.
But when it leaves you alone, it's in the corner doing push-ups, just waiting to get back at you. Like I said, another addiction or an illness or something like that. It'll leave you alone, but it's in the corner doing push-ups, getting stronger and better to come back at you. And you just need to know for yourself and for your mental health how to combat it and how to essentially like find that place to where nothing can bother you, nothing can get to you, nothing can just deceive you. You just are there, it's you, and either it's God or it's nature or it's just you yourself and nothing else, and just find that place of zen and just peace and just be.
Right.
Just be in the moment.
Yeah.
And for me, that moment was either fishing or just taking a drive at night and just seeing the city or just talking with like friends. Like that's another thing. I like having one-on-one conversations with people and saying like, am I the only one struggling with this? Because it's also important to know that you're not the only one who struggles with A and B. Like, there are other people that, you know.
It's also, I think it's reassuring to people who struggle with anxiety to be reassured when their friends experience the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, oh, okay, so I'm not super weird. I'm not, like, out of the normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I said, it's like, we shouldn't have to explain to our friends, like, this may sound stupid. It's like, no, like, this is what I'm feeling. Yeah. And then explain.
And it's crazy, too, because, like, we shouldn't have to say that. Because it's something as as anxiety, that topic is like, so touch and go with people. But so many people struggle with it.
A lot of people struggle with it.
A lot of the times, anxiety and depression go hand in hand with each other because they're triggered by each other.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to get yourself out of a rut when you don't even know.
Oh, definitely. What you're in a rut about.
Yeah.
Like, you're just... Like, okay, let me ask you this question. And you don't have to answer, but have you ever thought about where you were at a point of, like you know, in the biggest rut that you thought about, like, possibly harming yourself or taking your life?
No. I don't think I've ever been to that point, but I've been to the point in depression where I just, like, I didn't even want to, like, get out of bed. Like, I didn't want to, like, get ready. I was just, like, going on with the days. Like, they were just blending in together, you know what I mean? Like, get up and just do the same things over and over and over again. And it's just, like, you can't get yourself out of that little bubble. It's like a bubble.
Yeah,
and you just keep going round and round and round until, like, your body's like, okay, I feel better now. You know what I mean? But no, I've never gotten to the point where I was, like, in that bad of shape, and I feel like I'm the type of person too. If I ever felt like I was getting that bad, I would go talk to someone about it.
Yeah,
because
okay.
I'm very open about my mental health.
Yeah, like your struggles, your mental health, and what's going on.
Yeah, and like if you're my friend and you want to know about it, I'm like, yeah, let's talk about it. And if you want to talk about your mental health, let's talk about it, because I think that's a really important situation, and I think that our generation now is like opening the doors to the older generation about mental health, because the older generation just kind of wants to, like, that's not there. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I think cause also just to play devil's advocate to that, I think a lot of them just didn't know what it was. To them, it was just something. Oh, I had a bad day.
Yeah.
And also, I think what an advantage that they had is that they knew without knowing how to get rid of that negative energy.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have social media. They didn't have cell phones. They didn't have the internet. Right. You had to literally go out and figure out problems by yourself. Like, you know, one of my favorite things in the world is boxing and fighting, combat. I love it to death. It's just anything physical. And people, and guys specifically, back in those days would get physical. And that would decrease their stress. That would just get energy out. And you just feel like, okay, I feel better.
Right.
You know, where nowadays we try to cope with it in ways that don't work, like social media and video games and in other ways, to where it probably makes the problem worse, because you're not truly expressing and getting rid of the energy of what you're feeling. You're more just bottling it up and trying to get rid of it by doing something that necessarily doesn't help.
Yeah, just makes you feel better in the moment.
It just, yeah, exactly. It's a temporary Band-Aid. Yeah. Like, the Band-Aid's eventually going to fall off, but it's not going to stitch it up for you.
Yeah.
Like, that's the way I think I described it. I actually just thought about that. Like, there's too many Band-Aids now. People trying to put on too many Band-Aids instead of just trying to just get down to it and just stitch it.
Right.
Take the grind and stitch it.
Right. No, I agree. But I really appreciate how, like, our generation opened I guess the pathway, to discussing it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Openly talking about it, and there's like to break down the stigmatism of mental health.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, because back then nobody knew what exactly it was. Right. No one was educated about it. And then, of course, when people think about at least mental health, you think of, like, people that are crazy or in mental institutions or can't take care of themselves. So, of course, it's like something that's frowned upon when you're like, oh, you have mental health. Like, oh, so you're not all there. And it's like, no, I'm all here, but I struggle with stuff. Like,
sometimes I get sad.
It's sad, but everyone goes through it. But some people just don't know they have it. Yeah. And sometimes some people don't have it. Some people, they can live their lives and never struggle with with any anxiety or depression. They just are blessed with a life that, like, you know what? I was happy my whole life. Yeah, I had my struggles, but I knew I could overcome them. There's some people like that, and God bless them, you know. And there's some people that do struggle, and there's some people that they struggle, they're on, they're off, you know. Everyone's different.
I agree.
But now since we kind of have an understanding of what it is, and we're trying to get people to understand, like, look, it's okay. It's okay to feel not okay.
Yeah.
When you have a bad day, you have a bad day.
Yeah.
It's okay. You shouldn't feel guilty about having a bad day. It's like everyone's got them. Mm-hmm. It's just the most important thing is what are you going to do with it?
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that our generation is really trying to say to people. It's like, it's okay. It's okay sometimes to feel down, to feel like you don't want to get out of bed.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to stay in bed?
Or are you going to have to
Or are you going to get up, get help, and make yourself better?
Yeah. And we've also made it easier to just find help. Like, there's, like, apps and, like,
apps
just,
and,
like, so
and
many things.
hotline calls.
Yeah, like, it's incredible, like, how many, outlets for mental health safety there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. And the reason why I ask, have you ever thought about hurting yourself or taking your life, is because I got to a point where I literally thought about walking across, like, a Maryland state or Maryland little line run highway and just walking across, not thinking like, oh, I'm deliberately just gonna let myself get hit. I just thought, like, when the cars were going, I'm just gonna walk through and see if I get hit.
Yeah.
Like, it got to that point because we had a friend of ours that was on our missionary team, and she got hurt and injured, and she was coming back, and I woke up that morning knowing she was coming back, but I didn't feel a goddamn thing. Mm-hmm. I felt nothing. So I had to, like, kind of trick myself into thinking, you know what, put on a happy face, pretend everything's okay, because she deserves that. Mm-hmm. But me trying to do that, my brain was immediately like, oh, why do you think, oh, look, you don't even feel it. You don't feel anything. You're just lying to yourself. And you feel like shit because of it. And I went down a whole wormhole. And because of that, I, like, hypnotized, or my brain hypnotized, or whatever it was, to where I honestly thought about getting close to a highway and, like, hearing the cars, like, rust right past me, where I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to walk across and see if I get hit. Maybe I'll do it multiple times if I can, going back and forth.
Great.
We'll see what happens.
Oh my gosh.
You know, and thankfully I had a friend of mine, a really good friend of mine, that was like, and the cool thing about it is that he didn't even like, whoa, what are you doing? He was like, hey, man, what are you doing? Like, smiling, laughing, like, hey, man, you good? Yeah. Like that kind of made me, like, comfortable, not like making me freak out about it. And, you know, and then it woke me up, and kind of like realizing what I was doing and where I was like, oh, fuck. And then, of course, I put two and two together, what I was doing, where I was, how close I was to the street, and I'm like, oh, fuck me. You know, and it made me kind of realize, like, shit, I need to start really taking care of myself and really start taking time to realize, okay, I'm not feeling good. I need to get a grasp on it and try to understand, okay, when I'm feeling this way, what do I need to do? What do I need to do for myself to kind of, like, okay, I'm feeling kind of down. Either I need to talk to somebody, or one of the things I used to do, and then I kind of taught myself, I never knew how to shuffle cards when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. And I taught myself how to shuffle cards. Nice. And that was very soothing, which is so weird. Yeah, it was just, I focused. Like, sometimes someone actually timed me, which was really cool. I shuffled the cards for like 3 hours straight without even knowing it. Oh my God. Yeah, I was just like playing, like putting cards down, then bringing them back, and then just like shuffling them back. And someone was like, you did that for 3 straight hours during a car ride. And I was like, really? Never would have noticed. Yeah. But that's how focused I was on it, and it distracted me to where I couldn't think about depression. I couldn't think about anxiety. I couldn't think about anything else. I was just focusing about shuffling those cards. Right. And it was so good. And thankfully, that was now 2 years ago. I haven't thought about harming myself or doing myself. I'm glad you got the help. Yeah, no. And the cool thing is that I didn't really seek, like, psychiatric. I mean, I kind of did, but I didn't really seek it that much because I just knew, like, okay, because I'm very competitive, and when I set a goal for myself, I'm like, I really want to attain that goal, and I want to not only just attain it, I want to break it and set another one. Okay. Because I'm competitive with myself and trying to break barriers. Like, sky's the limit. No, fuck that. I want to break the sky and go into space. Okay. Like, that's my thing, you know. And so eventually I weeded off I winged off my medication. I started exercising. I lost a shit ton of weight during quarantine.
Nice.
I got back to like my normal weight in high school. In fact, even better. Like I'm more healthy, drinking more water, running because I don't like to run. Running's so painful.
I hate running.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's so terrible. Fuck that shit. But I do it anyway because it's healthy and it helps my brain. Like it makes me feel good. It releases the natural endorphins.
It really does. It makes you feel like awake.
Yeah, exactly. You're like it's that breath, you know. And also acknowledging, okay, when I'm down, but let me not feel down. Let me do something to distract myself from that down. And I think if people know themselves, like know yourself first, and then if you know yourself first, then you can know and love others, is what I say.
Yeah.
Because you can't love others when you don't love yourself.
Right.
Because then you're just a hypocrite to yourself, and you don't really give somebody love because how can you love when you don't love yourself, is what I say.
Right.
And if you can conquer that and you can master that, then honestly you can master the most difficult tasks.
Right.
You know, so that's what I say to that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I agree completely.
100%. But I don't know. I mean, when you talked about like older generation, you never heard about anxiety or depression or any of these mental illnesses,
right.
because nobody knew what it was, and also I think nobody just really cared or put an emphasis about it. Because also I think too, because history back then, there was so much more shit going on. Like, for example, if we're taking the 1900s, for example, there was segregation, there were the world wars, there was the Vietnam War, there was the right for women to vote, and
so much stuff happening. Yeah.
To where people couldn't focus on themselves. They were more focused on, like, oh my God, look what's happening, or we have to help in some way. Yeah, in the world, exactly.
I agree.
And nowadays, because we have so much access to ourselves and to other people in a more connective way, that we have more time to think about, like, oh fuck, why am I fucking up, or why am I not happy? It's more easier.
It is, which sometimes you can dwell on those things.
Exactly, like dwelling. I think because back then I don't think you really. I mean, obviously some people will argue now, but back then you really couldn't dwell.
Yeah.
Because think about it, especially after post World War II. People were constantly thinking that the Russians were going to literally bomb the fuck out of us. People were thinking that all the time.
Yeah.
And then, of course, racism and segregation going on, and Martin Luther King, and the assassination of JFK, and communism, and so much shit. People literally had no time to think about, they were just like, you know what, let's just get through our lives and hope it's a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, some people back then could obviously say something different, but a lot of shit was on people's minds. Where nowadays it's like, when are the fucking new Yeezys coming out? Like, honestly, like, am I not wrong?
That's funny. That's true though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
world.
It's just it's such a different world, and like technology has advanced so much that apparently my brother was telling me that now there's literally going to be a new hotel in space, like in the next few years.
That's insane.
Let me ask you this question: Would you ever get a hotel in space? Would you ever?
Okay, so I don't think I would ever travel to space. I don't think humans were meant to go to space.
Really? Okay, this I gotta hear. Why?
I feel like there are so many other things on our planet that we even haven't fucking figured out.
Yeah.
And not even trying to discover and figure out what's living already here. And like think about it. We haven't even finished exploring like our oceans.
Mm-hmm.
And they were thinking about going to space. I'm like, no, we don't even know what's in our oceans, much less what's out there. Like, what do I need to go out there for?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just feel like we're not meant to be on other planets. If we were, we'd live on that planet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
No, that's a very interesting No, that's a very interesting like point because yeah, absolutely. Like we're Earthlings. We live on Earth.
Yeah.
This is our planet. And yeah, I agree. Like there's a bunch of stuff that we haven't even yet discovered yet that's here. And there's so much to discover. But also at the same time though, the curiosity of the human mind of what's really out there. Are there other beings that live out there? Is there another planet that can sustain life and you know, do black holes exist, or is just witnessing another universe and the ever expanding expansion of the universe itself and different galaxies? I mean, it's the same time like yes, the exploration of space, but also you still want to explore Earth as well. It's curiosity at the end of the day.
There's just something about space where I'm just like, I'd rather not. Like, like let's just not acknowledge it. Like, I just don't want to think about how small and insignificant we as Earth are. Because we're really, like, literally nothing.
Oh, yeah. Compared to everyone else. But also, at the same time, and honestly, I learned this back in high school, and it's one of the most, like, things that I really took to heart is when man first landed on the moon. And they took that picture of the Earth from the moon, and I forget who said it, but whoever took that picture of just the whole planet Earth and the whole sphere of Earth, saying like, with Vietnam going on, the Cold War, and segregation and racism, and you know all the stuff going on, and the Communist Revolution in China, everything happening, and this is our one planet. This is all we have.
Yeah.
If we fuck it up, where are we gonna ultimately where are we gonna go?
Literally nowhere.
Where are we gonna go?
We did it to ourselves.
Exactly. And I am one for saying like, you know what, this is our planet, this is our home. Like I agree. Like, I'm not against like expansion to the stars. Like I think if the mind is curious about expanding and maybe go researching, then I'm all for it. But
no, like I'm all for it. Like I think we should know what's out there.
Yeah.
And I think like it's cool that we have the capability of going out there for vacation.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just like, hey babe, let's go take a trip. Just go take a trip to Mars.
Yeah, but for me that's not something
that's just something you want to do. Okay.
No, I'm just like I don't know.
Do you believe in aliens? Like, do you think is other life out there?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah?
100%.
I believe it too.
We can't be the only livable.
No, it's just, and of course for me as a Christian, some people are like, can you believe that though? I'm like, well, it doesn't contradict anything. It really doesn't. And some people, like, it's unfathomable to think that because they're like, yeah, but God created us. Yeah, but here's the difference. God, if I believe in God, right, and God created the universe, who's to say he didn't create other life? But here's the thing why we can believe in aliens and why there can be other life out there. Is in the Bible it said that we are God's chosen people. Who's to say there are other people out there? It's like,
yeah,
you know?
No kidding.
Yeah, so it's not a contradiction to itself.
Yeah, no.
Like, I can believe in aliens, and I do believe in aliens. There's no fucking way that we're the only planet with, like, if we are, then it's like, fucking A, we really are we're the chosen people, you know?
But what are the odds of that happening?
Exactly, and probably, we might never know.
Yeah.
We might never know. Yeah. Maybe we do. The government's hiding shit, maybe.
Yeah.
Fucking, but you know what? It'd be fucking cool to know, like, you know what, hey, there is other shit out there.
Yeah.
And you know what? Whatever it is, whether it's a little fungi or it's another green green alien or whatever the fuck it is, it's like, that's cool shit. That's discovery. That's science. That's like when fucking, I don't want to say like when Columbus discovered America, because I'm not a fan of Columbus.
Yeah.
Because the guy was a fucking rapist and serial killer and murderer.
Right.
And didn't discover a damn thing. First off, how can you discover something that people were already living in? That's my thing. But it's like when someone discovered the first dinosaur.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it is. Like, you know, imagine
history in the making.
Exactly. Like, imagine how, if you were that person that, like, first dug through the earth by accident and discovered the head of a T-Rex.
That's insane.
Like, could you imagine how much you feel like, what the are you like, what the fuck
find?
is this? Like, what
Scary.
the fuck is that? Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Like, oh my God.
Yes.
Like, you know, you just be full of like, wow, like we discovered that, but hey, there's shit out there.
Yeah.
It's just a morbid curiosity that I think humans are just obsessed with.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, it might be a good thing, or it might completely fucking backfire and ruin everything that we might know.
Yeah.
So, we'll just have to wait and see.
Either way, you won't catch me out in space.
Ándale pues. But hey, Lauren, thank you so much for doing this.
I had a great time.
I had a great time too. I'm a little tipsy, but hey, you know what? Fuck it. I don't care. This was a good time. And goddamn. No problem. It's my pleasure. And hopefully one day, whether it's face to face or over Skype, we can do it again.
Yes, let's do it.
Definitely. All right.